so sick of
Man, we're live, Eddie. I just want to let you know that.
that's fine. I mean, I speak. What's up, KJ, Trey,
What's
Macy?
up?
What's going on? I don't know why this guy started. What's up? What's up,
Hey,
Mr.
man.
Edwards? How you doing, man?
Well, I tell him I want to start it early because I want to get it over with. I ain't trying to be 11, 9, 10 o'clock at night.
I know, but 7 o'clock is 7 o'clock. Shoes. Why we started? Y'all guys look like y'all been going for the last 5 or 10 minutes, man.
Yeah.
I get
Now
so sick.
that part, yeah. He said tune in at 6:45, so we
Yeah,
all
he
going in
don't,
around
man.
this time.
That stuff don't mean nothing to Eddie. He don't understand, man. He don't get it, man. Like I'm close to cutting him. He's cut. He just don't know it. He don't know he cut. You know how you cut people and they just don't know he cut.
Just show up next week and ain't got no uniform.
Yep, that's it. That's what it is. So
I'm saying why we started the show. But why is the show already started, Evie? Can you explain why, if we're supposed to start at 7, can I please get an understanding why you've already started the show? I just don't understand that. It's 6, and you got people trying to chime in right now. You've already started the show.
Yeah, I know, man. Just handle your business and just play your role, son.
EV, tell him you the producer of this show.
Yeah, like it's okay. But you know what? Well, I ain't gonna say it because we're live right now. So, you know, it's just not, I just hadn't done my introduction, but we're live. And so it's cool. They get a chance to see the behind the scenes bloopers of, you know, Eddie got this bright yellow looking like a big banana with the Lakers on. Like, you know, like he really, I mean, you gotta be kidding. Lakers. Let's see here.
This is what we do on him. Y'all just chime in. This is what we do on him.
Why we started the show? But why is the show already started, Evie? Can you explain why, if we're supposed to start at 7, can I please get an understanding why you've already started the show? I just don't understand that. It's 6. You got people trying to chime in right now. You've already started the show.
Yeah, I know, man. Just handle your business. Just play your role, son.
You the producer of this show.
What's up, world? This is your boy, Coach EV, aka EV the Geeker, and welcome to another episode of the Geeker Report podcast, Talking Hoops in the Sip. And we have MVPs on the show tonight. I am just as excited as I can be to have all these great looking young people on, along with these old looking people. I'm not calling myself, but these other guys are old. I just got gray. I just painted it on. It's really black. But I want to welcome in Shoes Johnson from Mississippi Hoop Report. What's up, Shoes?
What's going on, guys?
We have the easy one, Eddie Young from Mississippi Play Sports. What's up, easy one?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
And we have, what do you say, Chucky?
What do you say,
Felton. My guy, Charles Felton from CEFL Productions. Is it CEFL or CFEL? Which one is it?
CFEL.
CFEL Productions. And now we got these little weak introductions out of the way. Let's welcome in the true stars of tonight from Ingomar. She's only an 8th grader. She is the number 2 rated 8th graded player from Mississippi Play Sports. Don't know what that means really, but she's, you know, like I say, she's one of the top 8th graders in the country. She just led Ingomar to a state championship. Let's welcome Macy Pfeiffer. How are you doing, Macy?
I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Also from Clinton Christian, an MVP and an all-tournament player. Clinton Christian won the private school 3A championship and was in the semifinals of the overall state championship. Let's welcome in KJ Sykes and Trey Jackson. What up, fellas?
Not Trey Jackson, though, Evie.
What did I say? Trey Alexander. My bad. That's my fault. You know, I just know a Trey Jackson. Thanks, Chuck. You know, like Trey Alexander. I don't want to mess that name up because he is a name that you're going to be listening to in the next 4 years, one of the top freshmen in the state, and KJ is one of the top sophomores in the state. And then finally, we have from the 8-3-3 who hit one of the shots of the tournament. It would have been the biggest shot of the tournament if Cam Smith hadn't hit that game winner to win the state title. But this young man hit the shot, heard around Jackson, bringing Lanier back to prominence, Mr. Demarion Edwards. What up, Demarion?
What up, Coach?
Hey, guys, I'm so excited about you guys being on today. We're going to jump right in, and just feel free to just relax, enjoy yourself. You see, we have a lot of fun on here. It's not often that when I go across the country and do things like this, usually I got the biggest head. But then when Eddie Young came a part of the show, that's one of the reasons I brought him in, because I needed somebody with a bigger head than mine. And so that is one of the main reasons that he is on the show. So at least when you look at his head, you go like, man, whoa, you know. So anyway, getting going here. The first question I want to ask, and these guys are gonna jump in as well. And then welcome all of our people. But before I get going, I almost forgot our sponsor. See, Eddie, that's the type of stuff you need to help me with. But you want to help me with other stuff. But let's just give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Tatum & Wade Law Firm, located at 124 East of Me Street, right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Tatum & Wade are serious lawyers who get serious results. But I say, what do I say, Chuck?
EV, you say if you want to get paid, call Tatum and Wade.
There you go. See, there it is. That's a guy. See, I couldn't ask you, Eddie, but I knew he knew because he pays attention. So anyway, here's the first question of the night, and we'll start with you, Macy, and then go around to KJ, Trey, and then end with you, Demarion. And hopefully we'll have Hannah Campbell at some point from New Site on tonight. She had got a lot going on, but hopefully we'll reach out, she'll pop in. It's very simple. How does it feel to win a state championship? Each one of you won a state championship on your respective levels. So we'll start with you, Macy. How does it feel to win a state championship?
It was really cool, like it's something you work for all season long, and to finally get there, it's just an indescribable feeling.
What about you, KJ and Trey?
It was a great feeling. It was our first one in school history, so it was one to remember. Same.
Hey, Trey, dog, you ain't gonna be able to come with no saying stuff. Just because y'all sitting together. Y'all not Siamese twins. You're gonna have to figure out how to say something too. I'm not gonna just let you come on here. You're gonna be getting interviewed for the rest of your life. So y'all better go and get ready. This is practice run. So we need to, tighten up, young fella. All right, here we go. Demarion, what you got?
It felt amazing. It's just you in the gym all year, and just to see it at the end, just, like she said, a different type of feeling.
How did you guys, each one of you, mostly one of you, this one's for Macy, KJ, and Demarion. How did you guys feel to win the MVP? Not only you won let's face it, everybody wants to win team awards, but it's okay to want an individual award as well. How did you feel when they called your name, Macy? I know you had something like 29, and what was your rebounds, Macy? How many rebounds you get? 13?
I think 13, yeah.
Yeah, I know you knew. I knew too. I just testing you. the double machine. How did you feel about that as an 8th grader, leading some seniors and leading a whole school and then winning the MVP? How did you feel about that?
I really wasn't expecting it. It was really cool and really interesting. And like I said, I did not expect it at all. I forgot they even gave out that award. So I was just going to go out there and do my best. So when I got that, I was really surprised, but I was also very happy and glad to know that the work that I put in I was starting to reap what I was sowing.
We got a Bible scripture in there. We read. Oh, I love that. I'm always into the Bible. Says that's my geek. I love that. KJ, how did you feel?
I felt good knowing I had my team cheer me on through it all.
and then it was just a great feeling.
Damari, you had hit the shot the night before, and then, I remember you coming off the bench and you just had energy. You actually, I remember as the game was kind of still in, like, we don't know which one team is going to win. And I want to say Raymond started off on a 6-0 lead, I want to say. Yeah. And then right. You came off the bench and you were like, you probably don't remember this guy, but you were like Vinnie Johnson. You just came in and hit like 7 quick points off the bench. And then, it was really your energy. I felt.
They over there all up with their mouth open like, who is Vinnie Johnson?
Yeah, I know. That's some good little homework right there. Yeah. They called it the microwave. He came off and his job was just to score that thing. Kind of like I had that role in college too, but we weren't going to talk about mine. I get tired. Like I tried to bring in my game and stuff. But
I'd hold you down, Evie. I'll get you down.
Hey, you know what? When you get our age,
I'll get you down. I'm just gonna say it. I've been holding on saying I'll sit you down, Evie. That's my job.
This ain't the show here now, because you're gonna flip me into another gig. You can't guard me. You can only hope to contain me. But anyway, Damari, how did you feel like winning the MVP? She was talking silly. Let's get back to you, young fella.
I mean, the MVP, it felt good. I wasn't expecting to get it because like it was just a team effort, like the whole game. Even though like when I got in, I played up to like what everybody expected, but I just felt like anybody could have got it, and I would have been happy if anybody else on the team got it, supporting them all.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anybody, Eddie, you got something you want to jump in? Anybody want to jump in and ask a question?
Yeah, I do. For KJ and Trey, I've been knowing you guys since I think I used to change y'all Pampers, man. That's how long I knew you guys back when y'all had pull-ups on. And just watching y'all grow over the years has just been amazing, man, to see y'all perform the way y'all perform. When you guys transferred, as well as the kid in Florence, I'm losing his name. Is it Devin? I know all of y'all at one point was at Clinton High School. And so I know when you guys transferred and when Devin transferred, it was kind of said that, hey, them guys are leaving because Clinton had a lot of talent, and obviously we saw that with with them winning the state championship and, CFL production, they became Lob City or whatever, the Dunk Brothers or whatever, and even got them into a national ranking. So when you guys see that and you hear critics saying, hey, those guys left, because they wanted to not be in competition with those guys, or they left because they felt like their position wasn't warranted. What do you guys say to the critics when people doubt you? I'll start with you first, Trey, and then, well, KJ, you look like you're ready to jump on it. I'll start with you, KJ, and then Trey. What do you say to people who doubt your game and doubt you guys?
I don't really get into that. I just let my game speak for itself.
Trey?
Well, me personally, I mean, I don't want to say the same thing because y'all say I gotta say more, but
hey, hold on, Trey. It ain't y'all. It's just a fat head dude with that ugly collar shirt on. And don't worry about him. You say whatever you want to say. I got your back, boy.
But yeah, I like to just play my game, and I don't want to say something and it not happen, and I can't back it up. So I just let my game play, and whatever happened.
Well, I'll tell you this. On my wish list, I would have loved to seen you guys still be at Clinton High School. I can't even imagine how exciting they would be, because you guys, to me, are two of the most exciting guards in the state. I mean, y'all both got tremendous handles. Y'all got that thing on the string, something that Evie don't have a clue about. And y'all, you both are really, really exciting to watch. For me, I'll be totally honest with y'all. I did girls, then I did boys, and then I'm back to doing girls. And there's a lot of times that when I'm out, I'm watching the girls play and I'm gone. But you guys are two players that I know y'all playing a lot of tournaments and stuff that I have, and just all across the country. But you guys, for me and Chuck, we talk about this all the time. Y'all box office, which means I want to see y'all play and Deshaun Ruffin and some of the other kids like that that are really, really exciting. And so the flair in y'all game, where did that start from? Is that something that y'all got from Coach Alexander, or is it you guys just because y'all exciting, man? Y'all exciting to watch.
Hey, don't give Will that kind of credit.
I've been working out since I was like 3, so I feel like the work that I've been putting in since then has carried on to where I'm at now. So
I got you.
I feel like all the work.
Go ahead.
That's it.
I'm gonna say something, Ed. I want to say something about that question you just asked them. I hear a lot of people say stuff about that. I do the boards. I hear a lot of people say stuff about that. But I mean, man, when you're talented and when you feel like you're capable of playing, you don't want to wait your turn. I know in a lot of times, in a lot of situations, especially like they had freshmen and sophomore. Clinton had a junior, senior team this year. They still wouldn't have been playing in Clinton this year, probably. I mean, it's just a matter of a numbers game and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think, I have a saying about you can make when it comes to going to college, you can make money from anywhere. You can't make money on the bench. Kids want to play. Kids want to be on the floor. So I know people like to say stuff like that about a kid that leaves a situation where there's a lot of kids, but it's always in a person's best interest to do what's best for them and theirs. And when parents make these decisions and kids make these decisions to leave, and it pays off like it's paying off for them, they're on the floor. They're playing for a championship. They won a championship and playing for a championship as a freshman and a sophomore, getting all these minutes on the floor now are invaluable to them in their development as players. They wouldn't get those minutes, those same kind of minutes and that same kind of game competition playing ninth grade and B team. So I like to, I know a lot of people say that and kind of want to frown and say something negative about people, but in a lot of ways, these boys may end up going further than a bunch of those guys that stayed there because they left and got an opportunity to get on the floor and play earlier. So it's all about what works best for the individual kids and their parents.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and that may not have been the motive. That was just the room in the street. Clinton was just, I don't know what they got in the water, but that class of kids, I know Chuck Felton has been following that group since they were younger, and just a lot of talent, in that class. But I ain't no doubt that those boys, KJ and Trey, can hold their own with any teams in the country, and even Devin, the kid that left Clinton. Devin went to Florence and stuff. So, hey, for D. Edwards, I got a question. For you, man. I like your game. Who would you say you resemble in maybe college or NBA, or is there anybody that maybe you pattern your game after? I'll tell you who I think after you say, and I know who probably Shoes probably say you're similar to, but who would you say you're similar to, and who maybe somebody you idolize or try to pattern your game after?
In the NBA, I would say like Russell Westbrook, something like that, or I say like Kyrie Irving, because I like his layup package. I ain't talking about the handles and all that. I just like the layup package he got. Like, cause when I'm around the rim, that's where I feel more comfortable at. I ain't saying I can't take the outside shot, but the rim, when you right in front of it and right around it, like this is where I feel more comfortable at.
You like the I lay you.
Yeah, they're right there.
I know you like that. Yeah.
Hey, Shoes, who does Edwards remind you of?
I'm not trying, if I had to say his game remind me of anybody, I'd say Chris Paul. Chris Paul, maybe.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I was thinking along the lines of a Chris Paul, some similar to Rajon Rondo a little bit.
Yeah.
Just that same type of grit and grime as a Rajon, and competitiveness of a Rondo. But I think those all are good comparisons, man. I was hoping that we lost EV. He's got bad Macy. He's got really bad Wi-Fi, but he kind of came back on. So this question is for you, Macy. Being ranked number 2, and this is my last question. I'll let the other guys jump on because they like to say I take over everything. But Macy, being ranked as the number 2 rated 8th grader in the state of Mississippi, how does that make you feel when you got a chance to see that? And then also talk about your recruiting process. Of course, I know, but some of the other people may not know some of the recruiting, some of the colleges that are actually interested in you, and just kind of talk about that. You're getting so much attention right now as an 8th grader.
Yeah, that's cool because a year ago when I was in 7th grade, I definitely did not think that I'd be getting this much attention. So that's cool right there in itself. But the recruiting process, the biggest school I've had reach out to me is Ole Miss, and I've talked to them, and I've really enjoyed what all the coaches have had to say to me. I've had from ULM and UNA and Eastern Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Jackson State, and I've enjoyed all the programs and getting to talk to them, and like seeing what their program's all about. So that's been really fun, and yeah.
Let me ask you this, Macy. Who do you compare when you look at college or WNBA? Just like Demarion was asked, who do you see yourself like? Who's your favorite player? Let's talk about that, and then maybe see, like you say, I try to pattern my game by who.
Well, I'm definitely a bandwagon, but I really like Haley Van Lith. She's just a strong player all the way around. She can shoot the outside shot. She can drive. She can even go in and post, even with her size. And I really try to make my game resemble hers, and I really like her. But I also like Sabrina Ionescu. I like her a lot too.
Okay, all right. Now Eddie, he's in the girls' game, but he didn't know who you talking about. But we ain't gonna explode like that. Well, tell him the teams that they play for, so he can have some.
Haley Van Lith plays for Louisville, and Sabrina Ionescu used to play for Oregon, but she's in the WNBA now.
Oh, okay, cool.
And she plays for the Liberty. So yeah, that's
Okay.
what she plays for in the WNBA.
All right, I see And KJ and Trey, who do y'all pattern y'all games after? By the way, Demarion, I like the Westbrook comparison with you. I ain't like the Chris Paul comparison. I just want to be honest with you. You more that guy that slasher off the bench. You going 100 miles a minute. I like the Westbrook.
I like the Rondo. I like the Rondo comparison.
Yeah, I definitely don't like the Rondo. No way. He's not Rondo.
That's Shaw right there. That's Shaw.
No, Shaw is magic. Shaw is magic.
Yeah, you're right. Magic. That's magic.
DeMar ain't having assists all year. He's a scorer. Have you passed the ball?
Don't do that now. You trying to say I'm pass the ball.
That's my guy, but he ain't. He is Westbrook. He gonna run. He gonna get down that court and lay that thing up. You're right. That's what you do, and you gonna hit that little 10-footer. You gonna stop right there. You'll score. You really Benny Johnson off the bench. That's who you really.
Yeah, now that's a great comparison for him, Benny Johnson.
Dudes, who's a guy now though, or Chuck? Who would y'all say is a guy that comes off the bench and gives them instant offense? Who's the guy that does that now?
Lou Williams.
Yeah.
Lou Williams. Yeah.
Lou Williams.
Okay. I can see a guy like that because you come off, man. You ain't hesitating. You gonna get all yours in bunches. But KJ, who do you remind? Who do you say I want to be like this guy? Now I know you haven't watched my highlight film, so you don't have to say me, and it's okay. But like besides me, who would it be?
Probably Kyrie Irving or Chris Paul.
Okay. Yeah, you got that kind of like size like Chris Paul. I can see a bit, Now, what about you, Trey?
I know this is his second year in the NBA, but I really like Ja Morant, like how he electric and can jump. And if you want to take the outside shot, he'll take it. So
you like, I think you shoot the ball better than Ja Morant, me personally. I was really impressed, man. You can shoot that thing. I saw you I saw you when you went one-on-one one time with
Hubbard.
Against Hubbard. Yeah, it was. You pop, pop, pop. I was like, oh, I didn't know you had that. I didn't know you had the pop, pop, pop in your game. I just thought you was a shooter. But then I heard pop, 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 and I was like, oh, you made me shake. See, that pop, pop, pop making people shake over there. You see, when you got that in your game, you got guys get moving in the stand like that. See, Macy, you can get that. You got to get that pop, 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 and then it's gonna be like, when you do that, Macy, I'm gonna run out the gym. I ain't gonna be running nowhere. I'm gonna walk out the gym, fast as I can.
You can say that again. You ain't ran. The only thing you run into is Krispy Kreme like me. Hey, Evie, look, I gotta say this. I'm gonna ask you a trivia question for Sabrina, the kid that Macy. I'll bet you the steak dinner that you owe me. Who trained her? Which legendary player trained her? And I may have his shirt on. One of the legends. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Give you that clue. Who trained? Who maybe trained her? It's a male guy. And I'll give you.
I guess you're talking about Phil Handy.
No, KB24.
Oh, Kobe. Oh yeah, Kobe.
I'm trying to give him a steak dinner back, Mason. But go ahead. Back to our regular schedule program. And I'm sorry.
Let me ask y'all this. We'll go back to this question then. When did you guys know you could win the championship? We'll start with you, Damarian. When did you know that you can win the championship? And that's a big question for you because, even us, I was the only one on this panel that thought y'all could win, but we're not going to talk about that. But even us on this show, we had, I don't know if you knew this, but we had Pontotoc coach and Raymond's coach.
Yeah, I seen 75% Pontotoc and 25% Lanier.
Okay. So when did y'all know that y'all was gonna win the championship?
I mean,
or that y'all could win.
I mean it wasn't a game or it wasn't a point in the season. It was really at the beginning of the season. Cause like when we was in there, when the first practice, one of the first practice, like we just seen what all we had and we was just like, we can't just let that go to waste. And the team instantly clicked. There was one main focus. Like when you instantly click, as soon as you hit the gym, like there's just something that's like another feeling. So like we all was just like, yeah, we got this, man. We just had to learn how to share the ball with each other. And as long as we got Baby Magic out there, he gonna make sure everybody get a couple touches.
Let me talk about that, man. I know he's not on here, but Quaterius Shaw, to me, I watch you guys play and y'all beat Murrah. And the year before I coached at Murrah. And so I said that day, man, they better, like everybody was like, thought that was a big upset. But I was like, man, they just better than Murrah this year. But it seemed like Quaterius Shaw, AKA, Magic, he just brought to y'all a situation where y'all just shared the ball at a whole nother level. It just seemed like he was passing so well. Everybody started making the extra pass. And my old coach said, passing teams are happy teams. And it seemed like how much an impact did he have on you guys, like sharing the basketball?
Like Shaw had talked to us a lot about his assists, but like it wasn't even just that. It was like when you on the court and like Shaw make a good pass, and like you see somebody else, so we like Shaw, we gotta kick this from out, and then it's contagious. Like you make one good, if he make a good pass, somebody else want to be like, man, I probably need to give me one of those dimes next time down. Yeah, and you'll look for your teammates more often. Like, yeah, that's what I feel like he brought to the team that like couldn't nobody else do. Like he made you want to pass. Like a lot of people want to go score, but Shaw make you want to get like 2 or 3 dimes out the game.
I'm gonna say this. I want to step in a minute and say this. This was a difficult year with coronavirus and all this, but I dare say I just want to make an observation. You all may be the one team the coronavirus actually helped in a way. And the reason I say that is because if there's no coronavirus, there's regular year. Shaw and the other big kid are not in the gym with you guys from the start. And I think that might have been a really big factor that you all had everybody in the gym from the start. Like you said, from the first day, y'all saw everything you had. You was able to bond because they would have been on the football field and you would have got them right at the start of the season. Getting them, having them in the gym all year, able to practice, able to build a foundation and some chemistry. I mean, it probably that probably went as far as anything to you guys, things coming together like they did this year. I dare say, just on the outside looking in, I want to make that observation. I feel like having those guys in the gym from the start probably went a long way toward that.
Well, like,
go ahead, Damari.
Well, like with that, like you're not wrong, but at another, like, I don't know how to explain, but like, we had Mike Brown last year. Like, we had him last year. Shaw didn't play last year, but like Shaw and Mike played on the same AAU team together. So like they already had a connection, but like it was like you said, they was gonna be on the field. But like I feel like that even if they would have came in a little later, like it still would have connected just because of the type of people that they are. Like they not selfish and they not going for self.
Right.
Hey, let me chime. Go ahead. I chime in 1 second. I kind of wearing it was out, Mari. But I have one more question for you. Whenever Shaw went out the game hurt, I kind of thought you all may be in a little trouble. How did you all rally together to play without him? Because to me, he's almost like Draymond Green is for Golden State. He's just that glue that pulls together. So how did you all rally together after he went down to bring it home?
I mean, well, I want to say good coaching, and I want to say like the coaches always say next man up, and like we all felt bad that Shaw went down because when he in the game, we're a different type of team. But I got like next man up, like we practice every day for a moment like this. Like, what if Shaw couldn't make it that day? Then the next man gotta be able to play. But like, I just felt like that we had enough people to come in and do their part, do your job on the team, and that's just how I feel that we're gonna go.
Hey, Damari, so you telling me that Raphael Anderson and Jonas James, they can coach? I didn't know they could coach. No, I'm just kidding, man. Both of them my guys, man. Shout out to Raph stepping in that situation with Bo being out, and prayers for Bo and his family and everything like that. But I thought that was a remarkable job that you guys able to come together, and Coach Anderson kind of stepped right in. You guys appear to not miss a beat. Shoes, how many games did they win? And because they had, I know Punta girls had a good 24 in a row. Lanier boys had what?
I think they ended the game on a 14-game win streak.
14 games. That's impressive, man. Especially, for a girl team to do that is really impressive. But for a boys team with the teams that you guys played, I mean, that's really impressive to end the season on a run like that, especially in the midst of what you guys were going through, and obviously playing with heavy hearts and stuff like that. So
I thought we were about to see that one of those special moments last night with that undefeated team, but it got away. It got away late last night. I thought we were about to see that undefeated team. That's a special season there if you can go undefeated, but it got away in the last minutes from them last night.
Yeah, really, literally the last seconds.
Last second.
Shout out. We're going to go to the live chat in a minute, but we want to go finish up this. Macy, tell us, when did you know that you thought that your girls would be able to win the championship?
Yeah, like you said at the beginning of the season, we saw like all we had. We knew we could win it. We knew we at least had a shot to win it. But around division play, things really did start to come together for our team. We started playing together. Our shooters started hitting their shots. They got on that. They started making runs and stuff. And we just really knew then that we had a good shot at this if we were going to be willing to give 100% effort every single game and every practice. And that's what we did. And, we got rewarded with it.
I got a question for Macy. Macy, coming into the season, you're an 8th grader. So what was your expectations for your role on this team coming in? Did you think you'd have as big a role as you had? Did you just think you were going to have to try to fit in where you could get in at? What was your expectation?
Well, closing out the season, my 7th grade season, I was definitely starting to find my place on the team. And I knew I was going to have to step up this season because a lot of especially after the first game when our point guard went down, and she was a very good scorer for us. She helped us get a lot of good buckets and looks under the goal and stuff. So I knew I was going to have to step up and do my job. And, I knew I was going to have to start carrying the load if we wanted to make it anywhere. And so I definitely didn't think I'd have to be the leader at such like a young age, but that's just the way that's just the deck we were handed with. And, that's the way everything worked out. And it worked out really good.
Yes, it did. And your point guard you're talking about is Kylie Johnson, right?
Yes.
Another, her sister Kaylee plays, right? Correct me.
Yes, sir.
Kylie is a very special point guard. Got a chance to see her play at Eddie's camp. She is the real deal. And so, with that being said, are y'all looking to repeat?
Yes, we are looking to. Me and Kylie already talked about it. We're going to repeat. We're going to make history at Inglemoor and make sure that we beat that 3-peat. And we're going to go for the 4-peat and possibly the 5-peat. So we've already talked about it, and we're willing to work for it too. So it's going to be special having her back on the court again this year.
Okay, 5-peat. That ain't her 4-peat.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got you for being willing to say that, because so many people don't like to put that out there. They want to adopt that kind of pressure. Kudos to you for saying that. I think you got to believe in yourself.
That's exactly right, Shoes. It ain't no such thing as bulletin board.
No.
KJ and Trey, when did y'all know, because this was your first championship, in school history, when did you guys know that, man, we can win this state? When did y'all know?
From day one. I think everybody, from day one, everybody bought into their roles. Our defensive players did their roles. Our shooters did their roles to the best of their ability. And everybody just bought in from the start. I think that's when we.
Okay. What about you, Trey?
Well, really, with CCA, we've been trying to put pieces together for the past, 2 years?
Yeah.
And I've been trying to come, this is my first year at CCA, but I've been trying to come to CCA for since I was in 6th grade. So, but I finally came this year. And one of our other guards, he came last year, but he couldn't play because he transferred schools, private school to private school. So, and once we figured out that who all was coming, and our first day of practice, we was we looked at the team, look at everybody's abilities. We were I thought to myself, we can actually win this. And once I do my part, he do his part, and our shooter do that part. When everybody clicking at the same time on the same court, you really can't stop us like nobody.
All right. Let me jump right to the live chat. I want to hit out a couple shout outs to people who are on the live chat.
Let me say something to Eddie right quick. Eddie, look at your phone. I sent you a text, and I want you to answer that, please. Go ahead, EV.
We have Jaquar Bibbs. He said, I said it wrong. No, it's double back. Josh, 2 officials, says, Mr. Send them home. Is that what they call you, Mr. Double Back? Come on.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Doubleback, you got to tell us about that. Jody Stogner, aka Mama Stog, said they proud of you, KJ and Trey.
Thank you.
Tobias Brickhouse. Brickhouse says, shout me out, bro. I'm here 1K. I'm in here 1K. And then Isaiah Spencer says, my dog, KJ and Trey. And then, arguably the coach of the year, man, our guy, our brother, Lawrence Bo Clark is on here. And, we love you, man. We just, we praying for you and, and we're excited about, man, what you did. And by the way, Shoes, he wanted to let you know that
it was 15.
It was 15, not 14.
Yeah, he said 15.
They ain't gonna, what, it's funny now. People ain't gonna let you, they ain't gonna let you scoot you on that 1 year. So he wanted to let you know. And that's okay. Macy, what was the most y'all won in a row this year?
You know what? I think we both wrong. I think it was 16.
I thought it was 16 too, but
I think it's 16. I think we both wrong.
But they was only 16-4, so they couldn't be. It couldn't be.
I thought they were 18-4.
What were they?
I thought they were 18-4.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, it was 18-4.
Yeah, that means they won 16 in a row because that means they won 16 in a row. So we both were wrong.
Macy, how many did y'all win in a row this year? What's the most y'all run in a row?
I don't even know. That's bad, but I don't really even know. I have no idea.
It's okay. We just, okay, we'll write that down. Macy didn't know something. Okay, cool. All right, we got that. What about you, KJ? Did y'all have any in a row?
Yeah, we had 15.
So y'all got 15 too, so y'all understand that 15. Demarion, did y'all know that y'all had like that type of streak going?
No, sir. I just feel like we just all went out there and tried to win every game.
Next year, you guys are, let's talk a little bit about next year. So we'll start with you, Demarion. You know, next year, what do y'all have coming back? We know you're coming back, but you lose Magic, you lose Mike, you know, John, you lose a few seniors. How many people you got coming back, and what can we expect from Lanier next year?
We got Joshua, light skinned point guard. We got him. We got Tobias, Cameron. We got like, and we got a couple pieces on the bench that's coming back. But like, what you can expect is that we're gonna play hard. That's what we coming to do. Play hard.
And before I get into the other guys, this is the question I forgot to ask, so I'm gonna go back to this. What was one thing, Demarion, this is gonna be for everybody, what was one thing maybe that happened during the year that some adversity you had to overcome? And I guess this is gonna be a simple question. You know, I know one thing was overcoming, you know, the loss of your coach. That was a major piece of, you know, that he wasn't on the sideline. Was there anything else for you guys, Demarion, that you just like look back at and say, man, this, you know, really helped us?
The doubt. Everybody that was just like that, they don't think we could do it. And like we knew that we was in the gym. So like we just felt like we could do it, and we just had to tune it out though and just had to play ball.
What about you, KJ and Trey? Was there anything during the year that y'all thought like, you know, that kind of helped motivate y'all, that wasn't, it was maybe not the best feeling in the world, but, you know, it just kind of, y'all had to go through a little piece of adversity. What was it? And, you know, how did y'all deal with it?
Beginning of the year, I think our first game. Yeah, it was our first game. I was hurt, but we lost to MRA by like 30. So I had to sit out a couple of games after that. And they kind of just motivated us to bond together more as a team, things like that. Yeah.
What about you, Macy? Was there anything that you like that with you that at Ingomar that y'all just like, you know, like, oh, man, this, you know, we got to get over this hump or anything like that?
Yeah, when we lost Kylie our first game, we were in search for a point guard, and that took quite a few games. But we finally found a few people that worked in that slot, and that was a tough one to overcome.
Awesome. Anybody else? Anybody else? You know, Eddie.
Yeah, can I jump in real quick, Evie?
You know you can't jump. You got a half-inch vertical, but yeah, you can chime in. You know.
Hey, this is for KJ and Trey, and maybe when you guys, I'm gonna set the table on something. Maybe y'all can help some other athletes. I've watched you guys be gym rats since y'all were babies, and one time I had given y'all dad the key to the gym that I had out here in Flowood, and one night your daddy couldn't find the key. He had called me about 12:30 that night, and I called. I said, "What did you want, Dad?" He said, "Man, I was trying to get them boys in the gym. They woke me up and said they wanted to get to the gym, and it was 12:30 at night on a school night." Yeah. So I honestly thought he was just kind of, you know how Cat does sometimes. So, but I was coming home one night, like a Wednesday or Thursday. I was coming in from Louisiana, and I was doing some business, but I got in. And I was going by the gym, and y'all didn't notice, but I stopped by the gym. It had to have been 12:30, 1 o'clock. And I saw you guys just tying y'all shoes up and was finna go put in work. And to me, I always say, what's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary? And it's the extra. What do you guys say about y'all work ethic, and why is that important? And maybe y'all can help other athletes, because one of the things that me and Chuck always say is we go bust our butt for our kids, but when they leave us on Saturday or Sunday, what are they doing between then and the time that we get back, and how much of y'all work ethic has attributed to y'all success? Because besides Malik Newman, I don't know if anybody that I've ever seen that works as hard as you guys have worked. Can we talk about that for a little bit?
And it's like, I just want to be in the gym. Like, if I can be in the gym, then I'm gonna try to get in the gym. Cause we don't have a gym at CCA. So, and I know you're talking about back then, but like, anytime I can get in the gym, I'm gonna take advantage of it. Cause like, you never know when you can get in the gym, when you can, and you never know when you're not gonna be able to play basketball when you can. And COVID this year, it taught me that a lot. Like, you never know what you got until you lose it. So,
For me, I think just being in the gym, working, getting better is always the goal for me. Like, it just make me feel better, make me happier, feel like I'm working to get where I want to go. I just think you got to work for your success if you want it.
As long as I've been knowing y'all, I've never not seen y'all in the gym. And Chuck know what I'm talking about. During school nights, Chuck, remember those boys would be in the gym at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning working out and that type of thing, man. To me, I just think that EV and Shoes and Macy and D. Edwards, people don't understand at this level, if you want to be great, and I'll let Chuck chime in, the reason why any success that I've had is because I've busted my butt to get it, unlike EV, who has no work ethic at all. But Chuck, can you kind of talk about, those days when those boys was in the gym late at night at 12 and 1 o'clock? I know you were up there a lot of nights with them too. And why that's important, Chuck?
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember the nights of having the open runs and then really look forward to it. Kind of miss those days, but definitely one difference in them is that I know Will is going to always push them and want to get them to that level. But I think those boys have already in their mind accepted that and they want to go for themselves now. And I think that's when the difference really comes, is that kid no longer works on what you see them, but now they want to get in there themselves and get it. And on the heels of that, I want to tell y'all a real quick, EV. I was to take Taylor to school every morning. I have to go past CCA to get to Sumner Hill. And as I was coming, something just caught my attention, and I looked to my left, and I know that Trey stays down that street. So as I'm looking, here's a kid with his book bag on, dribbling a basketball through his legs, walking up the street, coming up to CCA. And when I looked at that, it gave me chills, gave me goosebumps. And I think I called Coach Young and said, man, Trey is dribbling a basketball coming up the street, into school with his book bag on. So, like I say, that just speaks volumes. You don't find too many kids with that level of dedication. So, like I said, all in all, I think what he said is really paying off now.
And look, hey, y'all want to know crazy? Look, hold up. I know we in a live thing right now, but look, we at the gym right now. So after we get out this live, we finna put some work in.
Oh, I already know, man.
I've been knowing them since they was babies. And in Shoes, I've never seen them in Walmart. I've never seen them in the mall. The only places I've ever seen them boys was in the gym. I've never seen them nowhere else other than the gym. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. That's powerful, man. The fact y'all in the gym right now, that's like y'all just took a break to come do this live. That's huge, because we talk about this as a group, and I keep saying we're going to do a show dedicated to it. Hooping and a lot of kids ain't not serious like that. I always say the two worst things I probably got my 12-year-old and my daughter is a smartphone and my son an Xbox One. Because Macy, my daughter, she's 15 and she wants to be on the phone. And I know you don't do this, but like Snapchatting and Instagramming and call herself liking boys and so I know that don't, like, I know a star like you is just in the gym 24 hours. You ain't even got a phone. I know you don't. So
I take a few breaks from. I like to take breaks and play on my phone.
You take a few breaks, okay?
Yes.
All right. Well, like I said, y'all have any more questions for them?
Hey, EB, you ain't sitting there saying the little giggle ain't a chip off the old block, is it? I saw him in action.
You ain't come on, Shoes. Let's not go there. Let's he is a chip off the old block. He's very witty. He's smarter than me. He gets all A's. Yeah, he's definitely he's a chip off the old block. Yeah, he's super smart. You know, he's super funny.
Can I tell the story, Evie, about him?
Tell
No, I don't want to tell it. I'm gonna let you tell it. You tell it.
I don't remember. You'll tell it better because you know.
I'll tell it later. I'll tell it on my last gig.
Tell it later, Coach. Yeah, tell it later.
I'll tell it.
Hey, one question, quick EV, before you move on with Trey and KJ. I know you didn't ask them. I don't think you did. What do you all envision for next year? And who do you have coming in? Or is there anybody, any young kids who you think will step up into the role? And do you all see yourself repeating as champs next year?
It's gonna be tough, but we losing a lot of seniors, and it's just gonna be me, him, and Jay. Those are the only 3 people that's gonna be back. So the 9th graders this next year that's coming up, they're gonna have to step up and put a lot of work in. We're gonna have to do a lot of recruiting. And as you know, Dearius Kelly, we trying to get him over here. We trying to get Cameron Beverly. Yeah. Get him over here. I mean, it's gonna be a hard process. It's gonna be hard, but just know we're gonna be back next year.
I feel like we can put it out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey man, that's good.
Hey guys, you ain't supposed to reveal your recruiting stuff out loud for everybody.
Yeah, you know what? Because they say nobody's recruiting, Now, they don't recruit up in Ingomar, so, nobody comes from like one town to the next. They don't do that, so, and I know in Lanier, they don't recruit nowhere. So I don't know what y'all doing over,
But at
that's just the way we grow up. That's just how we grow up at Ingomar.
Okay.
Just the culture there.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Evie, can I ask D. Edwards and Macy a question, please?
No, you can't. So now what?
You
asked me, I said no. Now what do you do?
I'm gonna do it. Hey, I'm gonna do it anyway. Hey, Shoes, I was just trying to be hospitable and have respect for him. And he know I take over the show. Here's where I take over his show, Macy Pfeiffer. I'm gonna ask D. Edwards. I know KJ and Trey, you guys come from a basketball family where your parents and stuff played the game at a high level. D. Edwards, do you have anybody in your family that maybe inspired you to play the game, or maybe someone who your dad or mom or somebody that might have played basketball at a high level? And then Macy, the same question for you. I've seen your daddy, Chuck Pfeiffer, Macy. I know he played a little bit, but D. Edwards, who in your family maybe played ball, man?
My mom, dad played ball, but like he wasn't around in that, but it's like my mom basically, like, cause she was encouraging me to make sure I stay at school and make sure I doing something productive, and I ended up with Coach Clark, and after that is basketball. Yeah, it's just basketball after that. He wasn't going for nothing else after that.
Hey, any Pfeiffers played in the basketball? I know I look like Chuck might have could have done a little something back in his day, in his heyday, up, mate.
Yeah, my dad played basketball a little bit, but he was more of a football guy. My mom played basketball all throughout high school. Nobody in my family really went anywhere with basketball, but like they all played in high school at Ingomar. So yeah, it's just like I said, it's the culture at Ingomar, and it's just that's kind of what I grew up playing. So yep.
Macy, let me ask you this. Do you see yourself, you're 5, look like you're about 5'10", 5'11". What is it?
I'm 5'11". I think my stats at the whatever they were at, I think they're a little dated. So like I'm like 5'11".
5'11". Do you think you might have another inch or two in you?
I hope so. I hope so.
What do you see yourself as, like, at the net? Obviously you're gonna have a great high school career. You've already started that. That's pretty much done. All you got to do is wake up every day and just keep, working. We just pray God. That's all we got to do. If the Lord breath in us, we are who we are at certain things. But what level would you like to play at? What is your? Do you have any? Tell me your basketball dream? You know, like, or you know, your dream school, maybe a dream school, or you know, what would it be if you have one, or you know.
Right now, I really like Oregon's basketball program. I really like Oregon, but like SEC schools, I like them, like Arkansas and like, all of them, like they're all cool and stuff. But like I'd really like to go D1 or possibly make it to the WNBA and stuff. So that'd be my dream to get there.
Hey, Evie, and we like all the schools that's recruiting Macy right now. So for the record, we like all of those schools as well.
You want to try to come in and be, you know, I'm her director, so I'm going to jump in here and help her out. I'm not going to let her be, or you know, or oh, I'm Eddie Young. Oh, man, go sit your behind down somewhere. She likes school. She doesn't. I said dream.
Hey, listen. Hey, you know, you can't be setting my girls up. And listen, I told you about trying to turn into a cartoon character. Hey, KJ, have y'all seen his little deal on Twitter? Do y'all follow him on Twitter, KJ?
Yes, sir.
I was hoping y'all said no. He got a little cartoon thing. I'm gonna show it to y'all before we get off the show tonight. He turned himself into a little cartoon. Evie, can you put it up so they can see it, Evie?
Man, I ain't put that up. I said that to you, you know, like I haven't released the cartoon geeker yet.
So when he do that, he go into cartoon character. I'm gonna see if I can find it and show y'all a little bit. But that's all the questions I got, Evie. Shoes and Charles, y'all got anything?
Good. We've had a good night. I'm good. That's all that's coming to my mind right now.
What about you, Chucky?
I think that's it, EV, man. I think it was a really good show, man. I think the kids answered the athletes answered really, really well.
Okay. Well, what we do here is with you guys, and we're going to stay on a little longer because we're going to talk about a few more things. But we're going to, as they say in church, we're going to release you back to your Snapchat and you know your all the other stuff that y'all doing. We appreciate you, but we want to give you what we call the last geek, and the last geek basically is, you know, you can shout out your, you know, your mom. You can shout out, you know, whomever, your parents, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever. So it's crazy. We got a question. Your man, Johnny Johnson, that must be your guy. Ed, he asked me, is Evie a hater of Coach Young? That's your little friend. You got you somebody taking up these.
Let me say this, Evie. The world know now. The state of Mississippi know you a hater, man. So it ain't. I just shake them off. D. Edwards. You know, I'm used to them, baby. I welcome all haters like Evie. He ain't a better ball player than me. He don't dress better. He definitely don't look better than me. So
I think I need to see y'all play one-on-one. I think I got to see
hold on. So we can set the record straight. And Macy, I need you to do this because you ain't done this, and all y'all do this. You type in EV basketball highlights, okay? When you go away, I'm on YouTube, so we ain't got to talk. Now, right now, I can't do jack. I can outshoot anybody on this platform. It ain't nobody came on that can shoot better than me. But let me just say this. We ain't got to keep talking. I ain't going to let y'all just keep talking crazy. Go to EV basketball highlights. And what I want you to do, Macy, is when you watch that, I just want you to text me your thoughts, okay? Because you got my number. I want you to watch it. It's going to be some of the best 4 minutes of your life. And KJ and Trey, y'all think y'all got something? I do what y'all do in the game. I was ahead of my time. And you do the same thing, Damari. But anyway, back to our regular schedule. Eddie, don't ever bring that up again, okay? Don't nobody ever ask me to play Eddie Young, no one-on-one. This man, I mean, you got to be kidding. Eddie, that's embarrassing. Don't do that. But anyway, last geek. So y'all tell us like something. We'll start with you, Macy. A shout out to whoever you want. You know.
A shout out to my friend Ansley and my mom, my dad, and my family.
Now, who was the friend you say?
Ansley Thompson. She has cancer, and that's who we dedicate our season to. So definitely give her a shout out.
Shout out to Andley. We pray that you know for healing and a quick healing there. Or Andley. Okay. Damarian.
First, shout out to Coach Clark. Second, I want to say my mom. And last, I want to say the whole Lanier alumni and the Lanier team.
833 in the building. 833. Y'all know about that 833. Damari, I got some hype some hype t-shirts coming for y'all. Just give me a moment. We'll get that done. All right, go ahead, KJ and
If I don't believe this, I believe you highlighting you claiming somebody else's highlights, man.
You know, Shoes. I said the same thing, Shoes. We got to get some of his beat. We got to get somebody else's highlights. Hey, we got to get somebody else, man. That dude, a con artist. He done come here 4 years ago from way somewhere in Indianapolis. He claimed that he's from the Delta, and then he's got this dude, whoever Eric Vaughn is. You know, I ain't sure I ain't see him on Lifetime, one of them Lifetime shows where, you know, them people try to, what it called, Chucky. I don't think that's him on that video.
He definitely calling Eric Vaughn name. He say, you're going to hear Eric Vaughn's name called a lot.
They know. But anyway, about KJ and Trey, let's get y'all last words.
I just want to shout out my mom, my dad, and all my teammates.
Me too. I want to shout out, especially my dad for helping me with this basketball stuff. I want to shout out my mom and my first cousin. He helped me a lot too. And you know, I got to shout out my boy D2, Devin Collins, and I got to shout out my team. No.
Okay. Right here, this is what y'all got to get right here. Y'all see it? What that say?
I trade you.
So you need to get that right there, Macy. You see that with the girl? Yeah. See, some of y'all, Eddie can't do nothing like he don't know what I trade you means. He ain't never hit a three in his life.
Man, I hope, hey, whatever you can't get rid of, just have a garage sale and just donate that ugly shirt to charity. That's got to be the ugliest t-shirt I've ever seen.
You see what I'm talking about? You see what I got to deal with, Macy? Did you see that? Macy, did you think that was an ugly t-shirt?
It looked pretty cute to me. I like the colors.
Thank you, Macy. We got Macy. You know what? I got you one. Okay, just cause you said.
Okay.
It. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys. You guys can jump off, or if you want to stay on and be a part of our gig, you're welcome. Let me look and see if there's any live chatters that had anything to say or questions for you before we let y'all go. Johnny Doc John said, "Evie still my guy." Finetto said, "Best 4 minutes and 8 seconds of your life." That's your homework, and say Simon Macy. Go check out Evie basketball highlights so y'all can see I'm just not talking. You know, 200 pounds ago, I was a point guard, not an offensive guard. Right now, y'all look at me and be like, this dude, you know, like, because see, when you watch the highlight film, I go from the fat uncle at the you know how you got the fat uncle at the barbecue that's always talking about, boy, I was a good basketball player back in the day. And then he ain't got no proof. But I got proof. I'm on YouTube. That's why I set it up. I'm gonna keep it on YouTube. My kids, my grandkids gonna see it and see, because you see that right there? Oh yeah. I feel good. You see the shake? I got all that in my game. You see the movements right there? Eddie can't do that. Eddie gonna be like this. He don't know. He ain't experienced that. But anyway, you guys are, welcome to leave. I appreciate you guys coming on.
Appreciate you guys. Enjoyed having you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And we look forward. Now, Macy, you coming to the showcase on the 27th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure, because somebody was supposed to tell you about it. I ain't gonna call no names. I just wanted to make sure he did.
I got the message.
You got it.
I got it.
That's what makes Eddie, you all right, man. Sometimes you do okay,
I gotta take care of my girl, man. Mason, my girl.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we appreciate y'all so much. Damari and Trey, KJ. I know you guys ready to get back and get in that gym, man. And thank y'all so much for coming on such a short notice. We really had a really good show.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank y'all.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, okay?
Yes, all right.
And Mason,
Will do.
You got assignment to do. 4 minutes of the best 4 minutes of your life.
Will do.
All right, peace.
Bye.
All right, Mason.
All right, Mason. You want to get one?
Get out there.
The Chuckster's the kid that want to get the last. Bye, Macy. You know, he want to get the last buy-in. You blame me.
Oh yeah.
Hey Evie, hey, say that again. Evie said when Evie say the I think I'm often reminded of the guy that just came to Dodger Stadium and say it Evie. How you say you sit down at the ball game? What the guy in front of him? What he say?
What do you say, Chucky?
What do you say, Evie?
What do you say, Chucky?
That's how Chuck get that every time. Every time to talk to him.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, if you call me and you don't start it off like that, I'm gonna say, brother, what's wrong?
Oh man, he got that thing down pat. What do you say, Evie? And or you know, you got that old guy on the corner. You walk by. Watch out now, yeah, but watch out now. Watch out.
Watch that big ass doing like this, but watch out now.
Man, I love when guys do that, man. I get excited. But shoot, let's talk about last night, man. Me and you were both out of the private school. Let's go back to semifinals. It was there was on Monday night we saw Clinton Christian play an MRA team really tight after Clinton Christian had lost to MRA twice by 30 and 40. They come in and they were a play or two away from
winning that game,
from upsetting MRA. Talk to me what you saw in that.
Well, you know, the big thing was, especially, you know, I mean, we got to call spade a spade. Josh was off that night. He was, you know, I don't know what to say. They did a great job on Josh, or he was off, but he wasn't able to, you know, his shooting percentage that night wasn't that good, but he did make a lot of plays down the stretch that were vital. But throughout the course of the game, he struggled, and they just shot the ball so well. KJ and Trey, I mean, the two of them were really good. They just shot the ball so well that night. Just, you know, just played a great game.
Yeah, they really did. They were really, really good. I thought that, you know, I was really impressed. You know, and a lot of people, you know, like the monkey in the room, you know, the elephant in the room per se. You know, when people compare, you know, the private school to the public school, you know, some people say that, well, it's private school. But I want to make this clear. I saw a kid for the first time that he was with Greenwood last year and had 30 and 10 against Raymond in his championship. A kid by the name of DJ Smith playing for Greenville Christian, who upset, I thought it was an upset, or beat, or you can say just beat Hartfield by one. Hartfield, actually, Josh Lee, who's won a state championship himself, had a chance to win the game. Really a 15-footer. His, you know, really is his shot. It was his shot. I've seen Josh Lee make that shot 100 times.
Yeah.
You know, and they escaped with the win on Hartfield's home floor. The top players in the private schools can play on the public school level. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Josh Hubbard, let's not get it twisted. Yeah, he's averaging close to 25, 30 on the private school. It's no doubt in my mind that if he played in 5A, 6A, 8A, 9A, 10A, he gonna get you 20 a night. He has that type of talent, and he's really, really good in my opinion. The top guy, DJ Smith, that kid choose to me.
Let's be real. Two of these guys we're talking about, EV, were 20+ point scorers and won championships in the public school ranks. We're talking about Josh Lee and DJ. Both of them were dominant players in the public school ranks and won championships in the public school ranks.
That's exactly right. So we got to get rid of this narrative that that we're not going to promote the narrative that the private school is, you know, like I'm not promoting that like it ain't nothing, because it is. We saw some very good basketball. Shout out to the MAIS. I thought they did a great job, along with, you know, we saw the week before great basketball with the Mississippi High School Association. I thought both organizations did a first-class job in promoting the event, did a first-class job in how they ran it. And so, you know, it was a lot. We saw in the last 10 days, we've seen some very good basketball.
Very good ball. And the point I always like to make about the private school ball is this, about the MAIS ball is this, because people always say, well, they'll look at them and say it's not, they're playing against less competition. Is that nobody says that about a kid that's really good that comes out of 3A or 2A. No, there are only maybe 2 schools in the private school association that will be bigger than a 3A school. MRA probably a 2A. Hartfield, Hillcrest and Hartfield will probably be 2As, maybe 1A. I think Jackson Prep and Jackson Academy are the only 2 schools that might be a 4 or 5A school in the private school association, I think. They're probably the 2 biggest. So if you're going to compare the ball that's played at the ball of the public school, but compare to the ball that's played at the same size schools, and nobody's going to say decree what St. Andrews did, winning the 3A, and say that they didn't play anybody or that there's no talent in 3A. So that's why I like to. That's the thing I like to keep in perspective when I'm talking about the private school, the MAISA ball.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Greenville Christian last night. That was my first time. Obviously, MRA, I've seen them, and everybody knows who MRA is. Obviously, the coach Deweese, one of the all-time winningest coach in Mississippi history. He's one of the top in the nation, over 1,000 wins. You can't say enough about him. State championships, overall state championships. Obviously, I thought Greenville Christian, who played MRA, had the game won. Unfortunately, the young man ran on the court, and like I said, I just got to keep it real. I thought the coaches and everybody got caught up in that moment, and it essentially not policing the bench. If I would encourage everybody to go back and watch that game on the MAISnetwork.org. One of the best games of the year. Like it had to be, like top 5 games I've seen all year. What about you, Shoes?
Yeah, it was. It was really good last night. That was a really good game. The
atmosphere was just stupid. The fans, like the cheering section, everybody, they had the kids, the Cameron crazies, as I call them. They were, right. You shoot free throws. You had to shoot free throws on that end. It was unbelievable pressure. It was everything that you wanted in a ball game. As a fan, you had everything. Everything was there. They had fresh popcorn. It was everything. I really like it. Popcorn was on point. I really enjoyed the pop. Did you have some popcorn, Shoes?
No, man. I ate the hospitality room.
Oh man, I missed that.
Shoes go find that hospitality room, man. But I had some popcorn. Man, wasn't that popcorn good? I got some.
It's special.
It was special. That's the best. Hey, that popcorn better than movie theater popcorn. I actually brought some home to Kim. It was so good. I had to get a bag and bring it home to Kim, man. But look, I got
give me some popcorn everywhere I go because I really like ball game popcorn. I love the popcorn at these ball games.
Yeah, Hartfield Academy got the best popcorn in the country. I don't know what they do to that popcorn, but hey Chucky, since Shoes was bringing up about Josh Lee, I want you to tell the story kind of how we got into girls in the story. But we was coaching Josh Lee in AAU, Shoes, and Stacy Prophet called us one night when he was in 7th and 8th grade, and she said, Coach Young, I got the best 8th grader, 7 or 8, whenever, I think it might have been 8, 7 going into 8th grade. She said, I got the best 8th grader in the state. And she said, I'm gonna make sure y'all get them. So Stacy sent them to us. And this is tied into Omar Carter and Josh, how we got back into girls. Chucky, tell us that story about Josh Lee.
Yeah, man, we had got Josh, man, that year, Shoes and EV. I think Coach Young and I had went out, man, and probably recruited a team that probably could have played with anybody in the country, spearheaded with Josh. And it was another kid that we had from Natchez and a couple more other pieces. But anyway, so, man, we feeling really good about Josh Lee, man. To my man, we say, Coach, we've arrived. So anyway, we called Josh and didn't get an answer from Dad. And reached out to mom, maybe didn't get mom.
Hold on, coach. Before you get into that, tell him what Josh Lee dad said when he found out that we was gonna be coaching Josh. What did he say? What did he say?
Yeah, when he first kind of got there, he said, "Man, I thank God for y'all, man." So when somebody say they thank God for you, man, that's pretty deep. So man, like I said, we feeling really good. So anyway, I tried to reach out to him to give him the schedule, and I didn't get an answer. So Coach Young, my guy say, "Hey, guess what, Chuck? Let me call him. They'll answer my call." I said, "Okay, Coach, have at it." So he called and he said, "Hey, man, they didn't answer my call either." He said, so we said, "Man, what's going on, man? This guy was so promising." So anyway, EV things just kind of went, never heard from him. We go over to the NBA one day and we see him sitting in Omar's practice. And so Omar had gotten him. So we messed with Omar, Lord rest his soul. We said, "Oh, at least you could have told him to tell us bye, man." They just had to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I'm with Omar. Y'all have a good life." But like I say, man, so at that point, Coach and I said, "Hey, man," and O had told us some years before. O said, "Hey, fella, Young, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let you all groom them, and when the time comes, I'm just gonna take them from you." So anyway, that made us decide that, hey, man, we got to get on the opposite side, and so we decided to go with girls, man.
Hey, don't be political correct, Chuck. Tell them what I told you. I said, "The hell with these boys. We finna do some girls."
That's what
but Josh Lee was the reason why we got back into girls. When we lost old Josh Lee, we say, "Man, we gonna go full fledged with girls, man." But yeah, rest in peace, Omar Carter and his family. Go ahead, Coach.
Hey, let me say one more thing. Look, EV, now Josh was on spearhead us. He's a heck of a player, but he probably had 2 kids, maybe taller than him. Man, we walked in Omar practice. Man, it was 6'9", 6'8", 6'7", 6'9". Hey, I looked at Coach and said, "Man, I don't know. I might have left too, man." Just chance to play with kids that big.
Welcome in the Latester, the Southern Sports Platform, Talante Weber. What up, T?
What up, man? I was actually watching y'all. Sounds like I got on late, so I just let y'all finish up the interviews with the MVPs. What's up with y'all?
What's up, man?
Talking about that game last night, man. You missed a great one last night.
I watched it online. And actually, since we're talking about that, man, they broadcast was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like the graphics and everything. Like if you go back, it was legit.
Yes, sir. Yes, it was. I went over there with them and looked at it, and their production. They had 6 cameras in there.
I seen that they had people walking around there. I was like, this legit. It's like a college game almost.
Absolutely. They did it top notch. They had the stats. It was very, very good. Eddie, talk to us a little bit. You were there the night before. Talk to us a little bit about the girls' games. Shout out to my guy Brian Eubank, Sports Information Director and voice of JA. He was the one that was on the play-by-play last night. But Eddie, tell us a little bit about Hartfield, and I think you saw Leak Academy.
Leak Academy, yeah.
Hey, before you go, Eddie, hey, I noticed, guys, I didn't see no capacity rule in that last night. It was packed.
Yeah, it was
like it was probably about 1,000 people in that last night.
They ain't studying. Listen, the private school folks ain't studying. They ain't studying no.
The state has opened up, guys. So just want to let you know.
Yeah, the world called the rules off.
The governor said we're at 100% now. So, but anyway, so we're not. Go ahead, Eddie. Tell us about.
Thank God our governor's got a daughter playing basketball, and he loves basketball. I'll say. I spoke with Coach Ingram, the head coach at Hartfield Academy, and they were obviously getting ready to play against Leak Academy, who's kind of been, the private school the last several years. And Ingram has really done a tremendous job with his program, and he's got a veteran club that he felt really good about. And I asked him about one particular kid. The name that I had just kept coming up this year was the Miriam Prince kid, and Mike Hobart actually went to school with, played college ball with her dad, and he was just raving about the kid. And I saw her highlights and stuff, and we were recruiting her. And I asked Ingram about the Miriam Prince kid, and he said, as a 10th grader, Eddie Young, she is the best scorer in MAIS in second place. I ain't even close. And so I got a chance to go out there. Me and Chucky got a chance to go out there Monday and see her. And she was as good as advertised, man. She had a really good game and didn't score like she has been doing. I think she had one game where she scored 20 points in the fourth quarter or whatever. But she definitely was the difference in that game. MRA did a good job trying to push her left and used a lot of help on her. And it was a quality game, but obviously Leak Academy was the better team. But Coach Force at MRA, his son plays in our league, and he was just talking to me at the gym that night about that. That was their lowest total of the year. He was really proud because I think people don't know, but Leak Academy averaged almost 80 points a game, and I think he held them to like 44 points that night. So he was proud of his group. But I didn't get a chance to see the Hartfield Academy and Jackson Academy game, but I heard that it was a really good game as well. But I'll just say this on a note, just to piggyback what Shu said. I remember when I was in school, private school basketball was like, again, watching paint dry. I mean, it was just bad basketball, and now I'll say, the private school basketball is just as, I mean, like you said, there's some teams. I watched Jackson Academy almost beat Choctaw Central this year at home. And so I'm sorry, yeah, Hartfield Academy almost beat Choctaw Central, which is, one of the top 4A teams in the state. So I think that old adage of private school basketball being upward type basketball is thrown out the window because you do have a lot of marquee kids that have transitioned. So that particular game is starting to come around, and it's an exciting type of game. It's a different type of game, obviously more fundamentals, better shooting, that type of thing. Not as many athletes as you'll see in public school, but the game is played the right way. And I did enjoy Monday. I didn't get a chance to get out there last night and everything. I know EV was kind of keeping me up to float on that, but I just think that we in a good place. And I've enjoyed those teams that I've had an opportunity to watch. I was really surprised to see. I actually thought Jackson Prep would have beat Leak. I just, I felt like the matchup with Andy Flatguard and Olivia Sasser. I just really thought that they matched up well with Leak, and I thought that they would knock Leak off in overall. But again, Leak is just, they're just steady, man, and they've got all the pieces, and they play a fast-paced game. And last thing about the Miriam Prince kid, I really think she's a special kid, a name that a lot of people don't know, that you're gonna start to hear pretty soon. And she's got a lot of stuff in her bag, man. So I'll let Chuck kind of touch on what he thought of her, and then we'll just pass it back to you guys.
Coach definitely saw a kid, who was definitely the heart and soul of her team. Could definitely see she had a nice hesitation dribble that it's really that kid. You could tell, and you could see how this kid could score 20 points in a quarter. If a team wasn't really, really paying a lot of attention to her. So, like I said, we was definitely excited to see her. And I agree with you all too about the private school. I think here in Mississippi, it's starting to catch up, but I know we was counting one time in some of these other states, the number of NBA players, I'm moving to the guys' side, who come out the private school sector. So I just think that Mississippi is now trending to where it's becoming a little bit more.
Yeah, Miriam Prince in the championship game only had 7. The person that was the player for them that night was number 15, Emmy Harkins. She had 24 the championship game, and they won the championship 39-6. But what's intriguing to me was
what was the final, EV?
39-36.
Okay.
Nia Wheeler for Hartfield led them with 16. She was really good. Harley Grace Sensing hit a big 3 to, her only 3 of the game, but she kind of put them back in the game. It was that went right down to the wire as well. And so Hartfield had every chance to win the game. But what's really intriguing to me is this. Listen to these records. Leak Academy finishes 37-2. They played 39 games. and Hartfield finished 29-9. So they played 38 games. And then you go back and we look at Callaway on the boys' side, and I think they might have been 10-1 or 11-1. You know what I mean? So look at the disparity on the boys' side. Hart MRA finishes 31. It says no. Well, they were. This is wrong because they were. I saw they finished 30.
They're 33 and 3.
33-3.
I think it's 33 and 3, something like that.
Right. Greenville Christian finished 24-1. So, big disparity, like as far as the games went. This was a challenging year. And shout out to both, organizations, the MSHAA and the MAIS, in some, because there was a lot of talk that the basketball season would not go on. We talked about that even here. But shout out to both organizations. They got it through and pretty much with flying colors. We only had, unfortunately, we had a few teams that lost some games, or lost an opportunity to COVID. I don't think we lost any. And Shoes, you and Talante may know this more than I, but I don't think we lost any prominent team or a team that was a no-brainer championship team to COVID. I think every team that was supposed to win, did win or did participate in the tournament. So that was a good thing.
Before Shoes jump on, I just want to say something real quick. Mia Wheeler in the first overall game had like 28 and 18 against Columbus Christian. I was at that game too, and she's gonna be in the showcase, EV. And she's special. I mean, I know she's just at a heart. She's like an older version of Alana Rouse at Germantown, just old school, get it done, rebound, put back, that type of player. So I did want to touch on her and shout Mia Wheeler out. I know sometimes she gets overlooked, but go ahead, Shoes. I just wanted to throw that in since you had brought her up.
They finished. I'm looking here. MRA finished 33 and 3.
Yeah.
And it is amazing how many games they got in. And you're right, EV. They, we fortunately when the playoffs started, we didn't have many teams that fell out during the playoffs. Because like if you all remember during the football playoffs, they had a number of games that had to be forfeited because COVID hit teams in the middle of the playoffs. And I don't think we had very many. I know Petal ended up. There were a few districts that had some teams. Petal ended up not being able to play in their region tournament. So they fell by the wayside. But there were not many teams, many district region tournaments. It played havoc with Raymond and Florence right there at the end of the season. But they were able to recover and advance into the playoffs. So
and Murrah couldn't play. Murrah lost it.
Murrah fell by the wayside also. So there were a few, but once the playoffs and once the state tournament actually got started, I don't know of anybody that wasn't able, that had to forfeit in the middle of the playoffs, and that was a blessing. That was a blessing because, like you say, we were talking early in the season about the fact that we were just hoping to have a season. We were concerned that we were going to even have a season, and to see what we had now with the completion of it, and that how much ball we got in, and especially these last two tournaments, the MHSA tournament and the MAISA tournament, the exciting games we had and everything, the final 2 week and a half of basketball we had, man, that might be the best week and a half of basketball we've had in a long time around here. It was really some really good games played, some competitive games, some high level games. And it was a really entertaining and enjoyable week and a half of ball.
And and we still got a little ball left. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it tomorrow night, but the MAIS All-Star game is tomorrow night. I know John Lucas is playing. It's gonna be at Jackson Prep. Jalen Bolden, just the name. Josh Lee will be playing. So they're and on Friday, I think Alabama Mississippi game. I don't know if you're going to that. Shoes. It's gonna be in Montgomery.
In Montgomery this year. I may get over there. I'm still working on it. I got some things I got to do around here early in the day, so I don't know.
But I think on Saturday, is the North-South game on Saturday, or is that next week, the 20th?
Next week. That's the next week after.
Plan on being in that. And then, of course, the first annual Talkin Hoops in the SIP Showcase will be next on Saturday, March 27th. Just for everybody that's watching, we have a few spots left. On the boys and girls, it's going to be 8 games that day. 2024 versus 2024, 23 versus 23, 22 versus 22, and 21 boys and girls. So we already have some of the top players like a Josh Hubbard. We're going to have, the good thing about our showcase, we're going to have private and public schools mixed. So we'll get a chance to see some of that.
Speaking on that, EV, you know, what I really wish could happen, and I know there aren't many that probably would make it. I don't, with the Mississippi Association of Coaches, I know it's tied in with MHSAA. And for kids to get nominated for the Mississippi Alabama game and the North-South game, and I'm not so much concerned about the North-South game, but I really love to see, some of the 1 or 2 private school kids that would be a boon to us in the Mississippi Alabama game. I would really wish they could work out a way for those kids to play in the Mississippi Alabama game.
Yeah, well,
like in 2 years, it would be really nice to be able to have Josh Hubbard and Gazal in the Mississippi Alabama game. Because we got, the 2 best players in the state may not be able to play in the game.
Right. But that's why we're here, Shoes. We're going to provide that other, opportunity. So, by then we'll have a Mississippi-Tennessee game, a Mississippi-Louisiana game, so just to give you a heads up. So then they'll be able to play in that game. And no disrespect to what's happening with, with the Mississippi, Alabama. But, it's all about giving people as many opportunities as possible. You're right. You're even talking about when you look at Mr. Basketball in the state, I don't know how they do it. I don't know who won Mr. From what I was told last year, they didn't do a Mr. Basketball. Is that true?
I mean, it's the same as a Gatorade Player of the Year. So, I mean, Ruffin won that. So, Mr. Basketball, Gatorade Player, I mean,
I thought that was different. I didn't know so does the MHSAA give out a Mr. Basketball, or how does that work?
No, usually it's over the years, it's been generally whoever was player of the year for the Clarence Ledger kind of had been generally considered the player of the year. But the Clarence Ledger's fallen off so much now. But I think they did name Deshaun player of the year last year. We've got a couple other things now that venues out there that do it. I named my own, and I think they did name Deshaun last year. I went with a Bolden last year, and they've been generally kind of considered the primary name of the now there is a Gatorade Player of the Year also though. There is a Gatorade Player of the Year also. I don't remember who won that last year.
That was Ruffin, he said.
It was Ruffin? Okay. But there is a Gatorade Player of the Year also that's picked from the Gatorade, people that do the Gatorade Player of the Year. But the general consensus has been that whoever was named Player of the Year with the Clarence Ledger was generally considered the Player of the Year over the years.
Right.
That's when they were really good.
And I remember back in the day, somebody was saying that there was several McDonald's All-American players, Jackie Butler and Al Jefferson, who did not win the Player of the Year, award. That went to Charlie White, they said, that year versus, Al Jefferson or Jackie Butler. So that's always an interesting debate. Soon, in the next week, I think next week we're gonna have our Geeker top 30, and you guys can chime in with your own top 30. I think it's, we've seen a lot of ball now, so go ahead and get ready for that, because the good thing is I'm glad, at first we were gonna do it at the beginning. I'm kind of glad we waited now, because a couple guys wouldn't have been in there that's going to be in there, like a DJ Smith. I'd never seen him play. I mean, he is the real deal Holyfield. And he was, and we talked about this Shoes a little bit. He was 2 seconds away from we would have a conversation. I talked to Talante about this too, I think. Us having a conversation about, did he put one of the best back-to-back years ever? He would have won the 4A with Greenwood, 30-10, and then to come back and win the overall in private, 33-16. That would have been something to talk about.
That would have been something to talk about.
And while we're talking about last night, Josh Hubbard in the first half, for me, put together one of the best shooting clinics in a half. He had 27. He was 10 for 10 from the field, 5 for 5 from the three, and his only miss was a free throw. And it looked like and every one of them, he had a hand in his face. It was good. It wasn't no Greenville Christian had some athletes. It wasn't no like he just doing this against anybody. He was locked in, and I mean every shot almost hit nothing but bottom.
Right, and I mean I had watched it on TV, and I know you guys were there, but I mean, guys, can we please kill the conversation about, you know what I'm saying, the competition level? Those guys can do that versus anybody. I mean, I'm getting tired of like the, you know what I'm saying, the good guys getting the slack about, oh, it's private school ball. Let's be honest. How many good kids actually playing public school on every team? I mean, we be acting like every team is filled with Division I guys in public school. We got to stop doing that. I mean, Josh Hubbard can score on anybody.
Well, you weren't on Talante. We just talked about that. We just
had
that.
Say that. Okay,
we just had that same that you.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of that.
Yeah, you must have walked out the room. The exact same thing you just said. We had that exact same conversation.
Yeah, that's crazy. But most definitely, man, he was shooting that thing. I was watching online. I was like, he even shot some deep ones, like almost at, you know what I'm saying, volleyball line 3-pointers.
Yeah. What did you think, Shoes? You were there too.
I mean, you know, like you said, it was a phenomenal shooting performance. I mean, we've seen it. I've seen him shoot like that before at times. But, you know, I mean, I've seen him maybe not string that many together, but I mean, like you say, it wasn't like they were in good defensive position. They had hands on him, a lot of them, just about all of them. You know, it was times he just wanted a chance to see the rim. If he saw the rim, he could let it. He was pulling up. He didn't need much room to get it off, you know. And kudos to Greenville Christian. They did a great job in the second half of getting up on him, you know, and pushing him out further and not giving him the room to get it off. I give them credit. They didn't give him the room to get him off the second half like they did the first. In the first half, they weren't giving him room because they were there. He just was making shots, and it was a great performance.
Yeah, but in the second half, it just looked like they were rimming in and out because he came back out shooting. You know what I'm saying? The shots that were falling in the first half, they just weren't going in.
Yeah, they did have another guy on number 14, and I thought he did I mean, obviously he'll get credit for doing a better job because he was at one point I was keeping up, he was like 1 for 7. For his first 7 shots, he was 1 for 7. And he finished 11 for 20, obviously great shooting. You know, that's a pretty good shooting night. And he finished with 36. But and the one thing I give Greenville Christian credit for, usually when MRA hits you in the mouth like that, teams don't come back. They came back. Not only did they come back, they took the lead. And so, and again, they were seconds away, you know, and even with the guy running on the court, we can't, you know, this happened, so we can't miss. DJ Smith missed 2 free throws. As great a game as he played, he missed those 2 free throws. And he's got and the thing is we talk about that kid who ran on the floor. I know as a player, you know, the good thing is DJ's got another year, but he's going to remember those 2 free throws because if he just makes one of them, they win the game, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, and so
I mean, but like the kid that ran on the floor, do you guys think, I mean, because if you're a player, you got to be, that means you weren't paying attention to the game. If you run on the floor, though, you got to be paying attention to the game, man.
Well, here's what I blame. We talked about this too. It wasn't just, I don't blame just the kid. I just, you know, and I have to call it like I see because I was right there. I blame the coaching staff because all of them was in a euphoric atmosphere, jumping up and down. And I think the kid just felt like that the game was over. And he ran strict, like you don't ever see, like I can't remember. I mean, he ran on the court and he came back with a smile.
Did the belly flop first. He did the belly flop first out there he did the belly flop out on the wing first.
And when he did that, that's when the assistant coaches or the coach has to grab him and say, "Get your butt, what are you doing?" You know, and the thing is, I've been that assistant coach. I've been that head coach where, yeah, you're excited. You've hit a big shot. But man, I'm always time conscious. man, the game ain't over. And like I'm tackling a guy. I mean, I'm hurting the kid. I mean, almost if he tries to get on the court because man, we're right there. We've done the impossible. We beat the Giants.
I believe if he did the belly flop, if he'd have done the flop and just kind of got back on the bench, they might have let him make it.
No question. I agree with the shoes.
I mean, but you got to think he went all the way under the basket though. Like he
sprinted to the other end. They didn't call him taking. He took off going the other way till he was sprinted down to the basket.
Because it looked like they had to think about it for a minute.
Yeah, they did. It shocked them. And the thing is this: he might have gotten away with it if he wouldn't have had his pullover on. If he just would have had a jersey, because there was so much pandemonium going on. Yeah. If he would have had his shirt, like just say he would have had a jersey on, they might have missed that he wasn't supposed to be in the game.
But honestly, did somebody get, because I was watching, did somebody get hurt or something? Because I thought he was running on the court to see, you know what I'm saying, to check on his teammate or something. That's what it looked like.
DJ had gotten pushed on the other end. He got pushed down pretty hard on the other end.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
That's why I allowed it into the foul. That's why, because they weren't in the 1-and-1. He wasn't going to shoot. If it wasn't intentional foul, they don't even shoot 2 free throws. They shot 2 free throws because it was intentional foul.
But I mean, you know how things just happen for a reason. It was just like, it's just MRA turn to win. You know what I'm saying? It just happened. You know, what are the chances of that happening? You know what I'm saying? Who would have thought the game, you know what I'm saying? The game would go into overtime that way.
Yeah. And shout out to MAIS with I love the fact, you know, I know Shoes, you don't want to see the shot clock, but I tell you this, if you made me pick between the shot clock and the replay, and as long as they have, you know, like I like to get it organized where they have, you know, you can only get 3 challenges a game. If you don't, if you challenge something, you miss it, you lose a timeout, you know, or it's 2 shots for the other team. Now you start wondering if you just don't just challenge everything or whatever. But
those refs last night did a great job compared to the refs the first night in that last game. Because they checked everything in that first game, and it held the game up so much. But last night they trusted their calls till it got to be certain things they really needed to check.
Right. But I would
really go into the monitor too much.
And I mean, I like the replay thing. You know what I'm saying? Because some instances need replay. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's a big call that, you know what I'm saying, can change the game, you know what I'm saying, I really think you need to go back and look at it.
Think about this. Let's think about this, guys. If they had that at the MHSA, Ingomar is your state champion right now.
Exactly.
They go back, they look at that call, they see him down, and they call it no basket.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think, Shoes? If you had to pick one, Shoes, the shot clock or the replay, which one do you choose?
I'm going with the replay. You know where I stand on the shot clock.
Why you don't like the shot clock idea, those Shoes?
Because this is high school basketball. It's still about, you know, the experience for the kids. There are too many bad teams, too many lower level teams that are unmarginally talented in high school to play with a shot clock at every level. You know, you can't ask a lot of those 1A, 2A, 3A bad 4A teams to play with a shot clock. I think you're being unfair to those kids' high school experience. Ask them to play with a shot clock. You know, you got a lot of bad, really untalented teams at the lower down there. Now, you know, if you wanted to say the 4A, maybe the 5As and 6As going to play with it in the district and in the state playoffs, that's fine. In district play or in interconference 6A, 5A games, that's fine. But I don't think you can, you know, I realize when you get to the Coliseum, all those teams are pretty decent. But you can't ask teams to play with it in the Coliseum if they haven't played with it all year.
Right. Now I agree. You can't bring it in. You know what I'm saying? Because it's impossible to adjust.
I just don't think you can bring it in. You know, the 1A, 2A, 3A teams in the Coliseum, they can play with a shot clock. But then you got a lot of teams. You call those games, man. You up there in North East Mississippi with them small schools. You know, some schools can't play. Shot clock wouldn't be wouldn't be conducive for a lot of those small school teams and stuff.
Now, granted, the only reason I kind of like the shot clock, because you know what I'm saying, like a lot of those bad teams, they will try to stall the ball out. You know what I'm saying? So I also think they can kill the game too. When you got those guys that just hold the ball and swing it around the whole time because they don't have good players. I also don't like that either. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like it either. I'm all about, shoes is, I like shoes geek, good geek shoes, but I'm into the shot clock and the replay. I'm with both of them because it's and I know every kid don't go on to play college or ball because when you look at it, you're in one hand you're right, maybe two people on a 12-man roster each year go play college ball at some point. So you have a legit argument. If it were me, I'm playing with the shot clock.
And what I always say is, and let me say this, I talked to a coach about a week ago. We were talking about the shot clock. There's a coach that they don't really play fast. He says, what he said he wouldn't mind a shot clock because he part of his game plan is he's gonna make you have to work against his defense. He's not gonna let you come down and get quick shots. So that's part of why the game slows down because you're gonna have to work the ball and they're gonna have to work the ball. Nobody's stalling, but everybody ain't gonna come down and be 1 or 2 passes and shot. And he said he wouldn't mind it because then his kids ain't got to try to play defense 2 minutes, sometime a minute and a half, sometime before a team take a shot. But he also said this, and it's something to think about. In every level that they play the shot, use the shot clock really, more or less. The levels that they really use the shot clock, you can recruit your own talent. In high school, you can't recruit we just got to be talking about recruiting earlier. But we know it's some recruiting going on, but you still kind of got to play with the players you got. So, in the grind session, EYBL, Adidas, college, all those leagues, they going out and getting hand picking their talent, So that's a good point there too. I think that was brought up. He said that you just you got to play what you got in high school.
Let's go to a question real quick on the live chat. Talante, I'll let you answer first, and then we'll let you go, Shoes. I didn't realize this, but Greg Carter does have 4 state championships, so he was about to reach my legendary status. Although I was going to give him legendary status even because he, I think he's, has earned that. But what do you think about him going to Hattiesburg, leaving Starkville and going to Hattiesburg as the AD now? Talante, and then Shoes, you go after that.
Well, for me, you know how everything comes to a close. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he would have wished he would have won that last championship last week. You know what I'm saying, to close out. Like I'm sure a lot of people probably didn't know, except people that were close to him, that he was probably leaving for that position. Because I'm sure it had to be in the works if he just got hired in. So I'm sure it's been in the works for like at least a month or two. So for me, I think everything does come to an end. 19 years coaching at Starkville, you win 4 championships. Sometimes you just have to move on. You know what I'm saying? It's a time for everything. Sometimes you just have to move on to something new. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's been in education for like 19 plus years, I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, heading to that 25-year mark, you want to move to something, you know what I'm saying, more money for sure. And it's a bigger job, you know what I'm saying, to be an AD at a school versus just being a coach. So I'm sure for him it was probably hard because he loves to compete for championships. But like I said, sometimes it is time to move to a new phase, a new chapter in life. So I think he's going to do a great job over at Hattiesburg. I'm sure Starkville is going to bring somebody in that knows the culture, know what it's about. And I'm sure he'll still probably, you know what I'm saying, have hands on it, you know what I'm saying, even with probably bringing that new hire in. So I'm sure they're going to be in good shape, and I'm sure he's going to have a great tenure over at Hattiesburg.
Your thoughts?
You just started working in the state system. I'm going to tell you what this is about. It's all about the money grab, baby. Your retirement is based on your 4 highest years of retirement.
I know it.
Hey, Greg says it's time to move over and get those 4 highest years. That's gonna set him up for a good payday when he retires. This the money grab, baby. That's what he done did all the coaching. He done won these championships. He probably wasn't gonna be, and they probably gonna be okay next year, but they probably might not be what Starkville's been the last 4 or 5 years. He's gonna have to go through a moderate rebuilding. It's time to look to the future. It's the money grab.
Well, there's no question that I just thought, then Eddie, you can say what you're going to say. He's no question, he's a legend. I know I have the 5, just the 5 state title run, but he's definitely a Starkville high legend. He's, obviously one of the best coaches, that's been in the state of Mississippi that I've seen. He's done a great job. And what I love about him is, he's one of the best coaches in the country. Any coach that can pull off having a black power fist on his t-shirt, and will play it watching the game, that he's
he did it like every game too. You know what I'm saying? The first time I said, I was like, dang, he really got, he really got that on. And I respect him for that. You know what I'm saying? That was big. Like Coach Carter, he never really wears suits to the game anyway. So, for him to do that like the whole season, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was big, and it speaks volume, you know what I'm saying, for using his platform with being, you know what I'm saying, the status he was as a head coach in Mississippi, you know what I'm saying? I just thought that spoke volumes of his beliefs, you know what I'm saying, to actually do that like every game.
Yeah, I love it. Go ahead, Eddie.
I was just going to piggyback on what you guys said. I think Greg is a legend. I agree with you, EV. We've watched him over the years compete with teams that wasn't as talented and really make deep runs. And to me, that's a staple of a good coach. Can you win with talent? And can you win when there's not as much talent? And he's been able to do it over the last several years. So shout out to Greg Carter on his next chapter in life and everything like that. Talante, you just said who's got the next job. And this is more of a shoes and EV question. Talante, you can jump in too. The Outlaws run Starkville. Travis Outlaw and his daddy being the chief, and mama pretty much running everything. What do you guys think about a guy who's played professional ball at a high level? That's a different type of training, and a different, you get to see the game. I think that at some level, it's always the deal where, Michael Jordan never be a good coach, even though he's a great player. But I think that there has to be something said for people who've played the game at a high level, because you see it at a different angle. What do you think about somebody like Travis Outlaw, who hadn't coached a lot?
Can I answer this before they go though?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, because Talante's over there. So
me personally, if I had to bet money on it, I'm thinking they're probably going to use one of the assistants that was on staff during that run. You got Towns, and then you got Woody Howard that just made the run, who left him with the Kemper last year and made the run to the semifinal this year as a first-year head coach. So I'm thinking they might. I don't know, because I haven't heard anything, but I'm thinking they might.
Don't forget whatchamacallit over Itawamba. He was on their staff formerly also.
Darryl
Wilson. He was on the staff.
So I don't feel
Mississippi State got.
I don't feel like they would bring in somebody that doesn't know the Starkville culture, and like I said, like Woody.
Hold on, Talante. Are you saying that Outlaw don't know the culture?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I'm not sure, because Outlaw comes to the game and stuff, but I'm not sure if you have an interest in coaching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because most people don't. Everybody that plays don't have an interest in coaching, because it's so different from being a player. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know if you had interest in it. But like I was saying, like me, I would just think they would probably bring somebody that was on the staff of the championships that the kids know and the community is familiar with, even though you are familiar with Travis Outlaw. But I would think they would probably try to lean in that direction instead of bringing in somebody new that might try to come in and, you know what I'm saying, kind of alter some things and try to change it to their liking.
I agree. Look, T, I've always said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
And if you got an assistant coach that's in the trenches, a lot of times, especially, some of the bigger high schools, some of the bigger colleges, those assistant coaches are just as valuable, if not more valuable, than the head coach in certain situations. So I always say, if you got a culture and a way of doing things and it's been deemed successful, then I wouldn't steer towards that. I do want to shout out, just to change gears a little bit, I want to shout out Coach Yo up at Ole Miss, getting the 4-year extension today. I think it's remarkable what she's done and turned that program around. And it was on life support a couple of years, and she came in, and obviously, a lot of people's eyes, last year was a struggle. But I believe in I think sometimes we look at things and we want instant gratification. And trying to turn a program around that's at the bottom, it takes time. So what she has done, and Chris Ayers and Arminta Harrington and Evie, I know you're in tune with the other assistant coach. I can't never think of it. I don't speak with him as much as I do Chris and Arminta, but I just tell you, man, I'm just really happy for her and happy for that staff. I think they're turning that program into turning into the right direction. Obviously, getting back-to-back top 20 wins over Kentucky and Arkansas was huge for her. So shout out to Coach Yo and that Ole Miss staff. Finished 500 this year, and I think she's a couple of years away from being able to compete compete for an SEC championship. I really do. I believe that.
And that assistant coach, was a big reason, Shay Robinson, that they brought on, because Shay brought the best girl on their team. I think the 6'5" girl from Maryland.
Shakira Austin. Yeah.
Who really was a change, was a change. And yeah, shout out to Coach Yo, because let's keep it real. She had gone through some seasons where they won no games in the SEC, and we can say what we want, but she fought through a lot of adversity. The people were talking. She had to win, and the fact that they, Keith Carter, shout out to him. He had to give her the extension. So it gave us an opportunity. And although this show is not about black and white, it is. Let's not get it twisted. It is beautiful when you see a country who this doesn't happen often, where you have so many black coaches in the women's basketball in the SEC. You're talking about, I think they might have 8 of the 12 teams are black coaches, when that's never happened in the history. So that is, shout out to the black women out there.
Not even just the SEC, but in Mississippi, like the 2 biggest women programs have black head coaches that are women. And I think sometimes they can get some unfair, treatment. Just like I hear a lot of people and see it on Facebook. Just like at Mississippi State, they give her a hard time talking about, well, when Schaefer was here, we were winning, we were getting these recruits. Guys, we got to understand, like, Schaefer's gone to where he wanted to go. I'm saying? He had opportunities to win, and he didn't win. He went back to back and didn't win neither one of them. So I feel there's nothing wrong with bringing somebody else in to try to rebuild it their way. Because Schaefer era's gone. So, she got to build it her way and try to get them back to that level that they were.
Well, for one, I'm sorry, Shoes, but you got to you got to have an opportunity to play with your recruits too. Before we start to judge somebody, and I know what you're saying, Talante, because I see the same stuff. I see the same stuff, and some of the hate towards her because Schaefer did raise the bar at Mississippi State, putting it on the map as a top 5 program. So that's a lot of pressure. But again, I always go back to what I said about Coach Yo. You've got to give that thing time. And once she get her, her fabric and her fiber, and there's no doubt about it that they will be able to compete for a national championship. I'm encouraged for the women's basketball teams here in the state of Mississippi in the direction that we're going. Only thing I ask is that they continue to support the Mississippi kids. Brittany Young and I talked a couple of weeks ago, and Brittany is the all-star recruiter at Mississippi State, recruiting coordinator. And her and I talked a couple of weeks ago about how, she said, Eddie, this is what she told me. She said, Eddie, it's all right to have these top 5 kids, and a lot of times they come in with a lot of baggage and stuff like that. She said, but we, next year we going after some dogs. We're going after kids that want it, because sometimes, not oftentimes, but sometimes the 5-star, the 4 and 5-star kids have been told how good they are, and a lot of times just think that things are given to them. And you got to have those too. She said, you got to have those kids. She said, but your bread gonna be buttered to start some of those 2 and 3-star kids who just understand it and gonna get it done at the level that they want to get it done. Chris Ayers said this early in the year. I had texted Chris when they had got a quality win against somebody, and he said, well, Eddie, now we get a chance to play the way we want to play. He said, because the first year or so, we were just kind of stuck with kids that wasn't, our type of kids. and Chris was like, man, now Eddie, we can do the stuff that we want to do, so you can have some high level kids at Mississippi State. And I'm just using Nikki McCray as but they're not the type of kid. When I recruit Talante and Evie and Shoes, I know Shoes coach AAU. There's certain kids that I know ain't gonna fit what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So they may be great players and may be doing well for other programs, but they ain't gonna fit what I need on the circuit and how we play. So I just think I see that and it frustrates the hell out of me because I think that they're being totally unfair to Nikki. That's just my opinion. But go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, here's the thing. Nikki's a legend. Let's just first of all, let's look at it like this. She's a woman who's an Olympic medal champion. She's a gold medal winner. She's won at Tennessee. She's done that. Here's the thing, and I don't know. I didn't get a chance. I haven't gone to one game with Mississippi State or Ole Miss, but I will say this: in coaching in this era, it is a new era, and I can go back to my prep school, my post grad, and you do have to. I've always been known as a player's coach, but you have to make adjustments. And the great coaches are the ones that make adjustments in this era, because, I'm not a huge fan of Coach K, to be honest with you. I have my own reasons, but I have to give him credit that he made adjustment in this era. Like, there's no way in the world I think Bobby Knight would be successful in this era without adjustments. And I don't think he would have made them, in my personal opinion. But my Coach K, what he's done is, for a minute, Coach K wasn't going out getting one and done people. Matter of fact, if there was a time where he kind of almost, like threw little shots out at John Calipari and people that were doing it. But then all of a sudden, Coach K started doing it. So what happened? He made an adjustment, because I remember Coach K recruiting my play nephew, Caleb Swanigan. Now, Coach K told me and my guy everything we wanted to hear. Coach K didn't know anything about him, because he never was at a game, because he was coaching the Olympics that year. So he went off what Jeff Capel said, and that's okay. But he was smart enough. He got a good enough staff where he's made the adjustment to stay and be relevant. And so I said all that to say this: you don't have to just give in to the kids. I'm not saying that, but you got to make adjustments. The ones who are great are the ones that make adjustments, who fine tune the engine. If you don't do that, those guys, to me, those are your successful coaches. The hard nose, you're gonna cuss them out, do all that stuff. You see what it got, Greg Marshall and other guys. I'm not saying nothing that's not new. I mean, that ain't working like that. The berating the player, those days are over. That ain't gonna happen. Not in this era.
I mean, because you got to think the kids are different. Like, I personally don't think kids can take that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because kids are so, I don't want to say emotional, but a lot of kids are just soft now. You know what I'm saying? They can't take that type of treatment. They just shut down.
Yeah, and let me just jump on the soft piece. You're right. Part of it's soft, but let's just face it. Some of the stuff we shouldn't have been taking. It was just, we grew up like, you ain't grow up in me and Shoes era, and even Eddie was a little younger. Man, that's what I remember Coach Harper, rest his soul, love him. He's my guy. But I remember him telling me, hit the track. It's hot. It's 100-degree weather. We ain't had no water out there. I remember one time he told me hit the track. I'm the starting quarterback in the 9th grade, Higgins Junior High. I hit the track the whole practice. So I called myself this time rebelling against him. I went and ran a mile and I came back on. And he said, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm done." And he said, "Go on back up." I said, "I'm done." Man, before I knew it, he done slapped me, knocked me down, ripped my helmet off, didn't let me undo it, and I said, "I quit." "Trainer!" He yelled, "Trainer! Get his stuff." So like that.
But Evie, let me say, what was wrong with that? I think that it's what made us tough. I don't see anything wrong with that. Corey Isaac, I'm sure he's still watching the show. Me and Corey Isaac played ball together and came up in the same era. And Donnell Coach Roy Youngblood and Wilbur Whitley. Wilbur Whitley Talante had some keys. He had about 1,000 keys on the keychain. He had a damn key to everything at the school. And he had this big old lock. And Corey Isaac, if he remember this because he got hit too. Coach Wilbur Whitley's shoes had a big old bolt lock on the key thing. And he would just, if he got pissed off at you, he'd take that lock and hit you up in the top of your head just for no reason at all. And
that's abuse. We took it, but that's abuse.
You know what that is? That's culture change. They telling us now that's abuse. That wasn't abuse then, and if the culture don't change, it ain't abuse now. It's just what we are told.
I agree.
What the world has changed to.
I totally agree.
I never thought of internet as abuse. We got whoopings at practice and everything too. Coach would tell us to keep them to keep our missed layups and free throws. At the end of practice, he put the paddle on us.
Look at Thomas Billups. With that was Thomas Billups. I mean, I think I've seen David Sanders punch the heck out of a kid. You know, David does it now, and I tell you another one who's old school. Randy Bowden, you know, and those guys had success. But you know what? I seen David Sanders do it. But you know what? Like 2 plays later, I see him come put his hand around the kid and show him love too. And that's what we knew. You know, Wilbur Whitley.
Eddie, you said a lock that could put a knot on your head. Now you can go, y'all can go what y'all want. I grew up.
If Corey Bowden is on this chat or anybody from Natchez that play ball, they got that big old lock. Wilbur Whitley took that lock and he would just hit you on the top of your head with that big old lock. And he did it every day.
That's why your head like that. That's your problem. That dude, that's why your head it looked like it got knots on it.
Hey, Eddie Corey Isaac said, yes, sir, true story.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying. Like, there's been times where I had my guys and I got them close and I had my fist like this and I'm popping them in the chest like, you gotta go, let's go. And then I'm cool with stuff like that. I really am that. But I'm saying when you go overboard, like Bobby Knight choking the player and all like that, no, we don't have, like, there's not a more intense coach than me. I'm into it, but I ain't got to put my hands on nobody. And Coach Harper, again, I love Coach Harper. I love my player. I remember getting whoopings with the paddle. When I got in trouble in school, like stuff like that, I'm cool with. That's why that's discipline. When I got in trouble in my classroom, my basketball coach whooped me extra. I'm all for that shoes. But
let me ask you, EV, since you intense, do you ever find yourself like grabbing a player? You know what I'm saying? Have you ever done that before?
Yes, I'm cool with the grab. I'm cool with a certain type of grab. I'm just saying, you got to, but nowadays you got to be careful. You got to make the adjustment because these kids, and you're right. Yes, they are, and I use that word soft. They are softer mentally because you're right, Shoes. Again, the culture has changed. You're totally right about that. I'm just saying some stuff was abuse. My mama, I love my mama.
I'm gonna tell you the problem.
My mama abused me sometimes now. Now I don't know about y'all, but my mama, and she's my mama. I know she loved me. As a matter of fact, I started writing a book. Was it abuse or love? Because sometimes it sure felt like abuse, but I know she loved me.
Well, you know, back in those times, and I'm a little bit younger than y'all, and I know Talante is a little bit younger than I am, but you know, that's when the community was raising kids too. You got to understand, a lot of those people knew us and knew our families and stuff. And so oftentimes what happened nowadays is that, you know, if a kid, a parent defends the kid, whether they wrong or right. We knew when a coach or a teacher called our parents, we already knew that our parents weren't finna come up there acting a fool because little Eddie done did, you know, I know my child ain't did this. I know, and that's our issue today. We want to defend our kids way too much when they're wrong. And so that's just one of the things. But I have no issues with the Bobby Knight, Randy Bowden, and Thomas Billups tactics. I thought that, you know, they were able to do that because those kids knew that they loved them. And you can't do that with every kid. I get that, but I don't have anything with showing some, showing some toughness for boys. Now, girls, I wouldn't do that. That's a whole different game. I'm talking about high school boys that are getting ready for college because I think it prepares them for the next level. In my personal opinion. Shout out to Tamika Reed and Coach Brent on winning SWAC title. I think this Tamika Reed 3rd year in a row. Help me out. Is this Coach Brent's first or second?
I think it's a second in a row. It's a second in a row.
It's Reed's second in a row. Brent's first regular season title.
Yeah. Okay. Brent's first. Okay. Gotcha.
And they won today, so they're in the semifinals. I had the privilege of coaching with Coach Brent. Coach Brent is a quality coach who's been on a lot of adversity. People like, let's just keep it real because people know been wanting to get rid of Coach Brent. Coach Brent has been resilient, and man, he comes out this year in a COVID season and goes, 11-0 in the conference, and he wins the co-championship. And so then he just beat Arkansas Pine Bluff for the 3rd time this year, and y'all know how hard it is to beat a team 3 times, and Pine Bluff is the real, like they ain't no slouch at all. So they're getting it done. Him and Kaysenberg, Swan Dixon, and Woodall over there at Jack State on the boys' side, and then I know Juanita Ward and LaShonda Cousin. And Richard Bradley. Is it Richard Bradley?
Richard Bradley
on the girls' side, and LaShonda Cousin. I just want to shout her out. Along with my girl Juanita Ward. LaShonda Cousin does a phenomenal job, I think, recruiting. She's a bright young star, in the business. And
can I tell you why too, Evie?
I know you can tell me because you knew her.
Yeah, well, just Talante and Shoes, let's just not get it twisted. The people who have ties to AAU, you can see that. I mean, it's Shonda Cousins, Brittany Young, Chris Ayers. I mean, they're really in depth with the AAU people, and when you've got those types of connections, it's gonna help. You're gonna continue to get recruits in, and so I just say, man, I mean, if I see something working, then and again, I ain't calling no names, but there's some schools who ain't in tap with the AAU guys in state or out of state for that matter. And you just got to be in tune with the people who got the better kids if you want to get kids recruited. I get so sick of people. And let me just say this, man, it's my pet peeve. Right, we ain't having no camps and stuff right now, but I just have an issue with some of the college coaches who only call you when they need you. You know what I'm saying? They only call you when they need 5 or 6 of your kids to come to their camp. But you calling them about kids and they don't answer their phone or they send you the voicemail. And this is a relationship business. So you can't, I mean, we see through that, that let's not get it twisted. If you're going 6 or 7 months and you pick up the phone and asking me about a kid, I ain't gonna be as gun-ho to get you what you need. And I'm just speaking for other coaches, how we feel. And so I just think those relationships got to be sound. But I only say that because LaShonda Cousins, Brittany Young, Patosha Jeffrey comes from the AAU side from USM, and Chris Ayers, those people come from AAU side, and that's really huge that they've got those relationships, and that's attributing to their recruiting classes too. So I just say for the coaches, that don't see that and don't see the value of that, then that may be why your program isn't where it needs to be. Not trying to bring value to myself or any other AAU guys, but you got to have relationships with the people that gonna have the kids. Because just believe this, I promise you, before them kids make a decision, they're gonna contact their AAU coaches before they contact anybody else for the most part, And so that could make or break a quality kid. So, but anyway, go ahead, Evie. You look like you want to jump in or tell me to shut up.
I'm not. But you're right. All college coaches got to find who's the influential guy. And sometimes it is a high school coach. Sometimes it's a guy, but most times, it does. It is the AAU, and it's too bad that I've been on both sides of the coin. A lot of times, AAU gets a bad rap, and it's unfortunate. It shouldn't be. It should be a thing where, and that's where, you hear me say it's like a broken record. That's why if everybody, even on the AAU side, work together, even if they didn't really. It'd be great if they came together, but just work together. And we have to decide what's the best situation for each kid. But as we get ready, we've been going, man. It's as we get
time to hit the Final Geek now, guys.
It's time. Yeah. I see Shoes up there. Shoes getting phone calls, and Talante came in late today. We've been on about 2 hours, so appreciate everybody coming on. As we get ready for the last geek, Shoes, we'll start with you, and then Talante, and end with Eddie for our last geek.
Well, my thing is, I just want to say shout out, first of all, kudos to the MHSA and the MAIS for the two tournaments that they just put on. We saw some quality basketball, some exciting basketball, and got me geeked to roll on in the AAU season, man. I'm ready. Let's just keep it rolling. The AAU season, see some ball, and I'm just hoping, like we were wondering last year, were we gonna have a basketball season? I'm curious and interested to see what route the AAU season is going to take this year. How much, are the big leagues going to bounce back and play, and how much they're going to play, and what venues are going to be there for the kids to play in this year. You already know the coaches can't get out to July, but there's still a lot of live stream stuff going on, so it's still valuable for the kids to get out and play. So I'm just saying, great season just completed, but we got a lot more to come. And I'm out, guys.
And I'm gonna just hop in the same thing Shu said. Congratulations to all the teams. Like you guys said, we did have a great 10 days of basketball in Mississippi with private school and public school. The championship games were great. And for everybody else, like Shu said, the AAU season is getting ready to start, and it's important that everybody keeps putting in work. I know a lot of people want to go play, but guys, you have to train and go execute when you go to practice into these tournaments, because you guys hold the keys to it. The directors and coaches, we got to get you guys there in front of the people that you need to be in front of, but you guys have to be ready to go out. Guys and girls have to be ready to go out and compete at a high level, and that started at home. Like I know EV was big on last week, everybody being in shape. You got to be in shape to compete at a high level. And that's just, point blank period. If you're not in shape, you're not going to compete at a high level. So definitely take training serious, take AAU practice serious. And when you go out, try to dominate the games, and good luck this year.
Hey, my last geek, since we on that, I will just piggyback out for y'all. I've been going to the Coliseum for the past however long. And I will say this was probably one of the most entertaining state tournaments I've been in a while. Just some really, really good basketball, good coaching. Kudos to everybody that made it to the big house, and even the ones who fell a little short. Shout out to you guys. Since we're on the AAU topic, y'all know I'm an AAU guy. As we transition to that, man, let these coaches come out, NCAA. Quit making this stuff difficult than what it is. I mean, these coaches have been cooped up for the past year and a half and a year or so. And it's time for these college coaches to get back out and evaluate the talent. I think the state of basketball in Mississippi is in a great place. Y'all know how biased I am Mississippi with the coaches that we have, the kids that we have coming up the ranks. On the AAU side, guys, I'll just say this: do what you want with your child. Ain't no doubt about it, but there are some great programs in Mississippi on the girls and boys side. And it sometimes it bothers me when I see so many kids run and fly out of state to go play for teams that are not doing the kids justice. So you just make sure that when you're making your decision, if you hadn't made your decision for summer basketball, make sure that you do your homework on the program that you're choosing, and let's try to keep some of these kids in state. We do have some great quality programs here that can get kids to the next level. That's pretty much all I got. Don't get mad at me or Shoes when our rankings come out here in the next week or two. I don't know if Shoes done did his postseason rankings yet, but I'm gonna throw that out there. I got my postseason rankings coming here pretty soon. I hope EV never does a ranking. I think somebody say, "Hey Eddie, did you hear your boy on the show when y'all did a late night show and he run me down talking about he got some rankings coming out, some old crap he go throw together and hope it all sticks." So don't y'all give any validity to that. Go sign up. I will say this: sign up for his showcase. The one thing that he has done well is he set up a tremendous showcase that's going to be viewed by several college coaches. He's doing a great job with his podcast amongst that. And I'll tell that story about his son on the next show, little junior, man. So, but a great show tonight, guys. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see you on Sunday, God willing. God willing, I'm living, I'm here.
And listen, as I close, I'm just gonna let you know I am gonna be joining the rankings frenzies probably next year. I'm just gonna do my top 30 right now that I've seen, because I still see. I don't want to be like you in Shoes, where y'all rank some guys that you ain't seen before. I want to see now. It really is more you, Eddie, than Shoes. So I want to give the legend Shoes. You know, I give you props because Shoes been doing it long, and Shoes, if Shoes gonna at least talk to Kevin Cole down on the coast and do that. But Eddie gonna just he gonna close his eyes and play pin the tail, rank the tail on the donkey. It's like pin the tail. Oh, and here's so-and-so. Here's so-and-so. You just reaching, grab it. No, see these people. I'm going off my eyes. I trust my eyes. And so that's my last geek of the day. I love all of you guys and I thank you. Even, I said enough for you to, you guys that coming on and helping us. And I just continue to pray and believe and trust God that people will see that this platform is for the state of Mississippi. It's for our kids. It's for all of us, that all of us can benefit off of it. So it's one of those things we all can eat. So for Talante Weber, Eddie Young, Shoes Johnson, I'm Coach EV, AKA EV the Geeker, saying good evening.